Loki Trickster is first to the stream.
Good day, everyone. Welcome back to the stream. How's everyone doing? Apparently, I forgot to switch things back. Hold, please. There we go. Everything switched back. The chat is back, and everything's back to normal. I'm not going to be giant like that. Absolutely not.
It starts with A and rhymes with fart.
I'm going to guess Aardvark. Is that what you're talking about? Is it Aardvark? Gotta be Aardvark. How's everyone doing? Close. Yes, I was close. That's all I care about. As long as I'm close. Seelick, I'm so sorry that you know I get first. But Loki, congratulations on getting first. You beat some randev. That's impressive. That is very impressive right there. Also, welcome Loki. Glad to see you here. First message, I guess. See, there you go, Seelick. You got first message. That's something. Honestly, I think what I need to start doing is I need to try add second. I think I should add second. Let's add second, everybody. Just because, you know, we can. Here we go. Let's duplicate this tab. Come over here.
What the? Turned Moon Man into a chicken.
I'm a chicken. Bok, bok, bok. Bok, bok, bok. I'm a chicken. Bok, bok, bokkity, bok, bok, bok. Let's come over here to viewer rewards. Here we go. Manage channel rewards. All right, everybody. Let's see. Oh, do you remember all these? I still have them just in case. Because you never know. You never know when we might need them. Let's do... Where's first? Oh, yeah, it's going to be all the way here, up here at the top. First, there we go. Edit. Yes, so first, I'll be the first to stream. Let everyone know this can only be redeemed once per stream. I feel like... Okay, so I'm not going to go through and make the whole second graphic yet. But we are going to add the second. And then I'll add the graphic later. So, I think we're just going to copy that. Yes, what are all the things? So 1 per stream and second. All right, there we go. Oh my goodness, we got to stretch.
Just redeemed stream.
I'm gonna need to do some stretching. Which actually, speaking of stretching, I realized that on the last stream on Tuesday,
Cameron Reap wants Moon Man to do 10 bicep curls.
Seelick redeemed stretch at like the last 30 minutes of the stream, and I never stretched.
Cameron Reap wants Moon Man to do 10 chest benders.
So we're gonna need to do double stretches, and then the rest of the, or I guess a stretch, and then the rest of the trifecta. I was wiping some dust off of my my microphone camera arm, and I accidentally knocked something loose, and I was waiting for my microphone to fall, and it didn't. So we're good. Let's come in here really quickly, and we're just going to do down here at the bottom, add a custom reward. We're gonna say second. Were you second to the stream? Let everyone know this is going to be redeemed once per stream. Mana is going to be 2. It's going to cost 2 mana for this one. Yo, because you know it's second. And let's set this one to be blue. Go. All right, redemption cooldown time. Nope, we just want 1 per stream. Once per stream. All right, there we go. Make it 50. No. It can't be 50. I don't want to deter people from redeeming it. But it also it needs to be different from 1, right? It's got to be 2. All right, actually, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna do a little bit of what are we gonna do here? I got an idea. Hold this up. While I'm waiting for Photoshop to slowly load. Let's see. How is everyone doing? Let's see. We got what do we got? It starts with A and rhymes with fart. Let's see. I was clicking so hard. OMG. I'm so sorry, school. So sorry. I can't even Loki. Close. Big Moon. Hello. Welcome, Scoiled. It's art time. That's true. We are going to be taking a look at. We're going to be taking a look at art. He's not even here. Just here for the first time. I know. Just here for the first. Yeah. just popped in, redeemed first, and then there goes Loki. Out of our lives forever, unfortunately. It's absolutely tragic. Absolutely tragic. Let's see here. We're going to create a new, and we're going to say, what was it? 112 by 112 with a 72 resolution. There we go. Let's see here. Let's zoom in just a little bit. Over on YouTube, we got Nearwanda001 says, "Hey man, what's up? YouTube recommended me your stream. Well, welcome. I'm glad to see you here. I'm assuming then if YouTube just recommended the stream, I'm guessing you're a first timer here. So welcome. Glad to see you here. Yeah. Hopefully you're having an absolutely fantastic day so far. We are going to be getting into the game dev here in probably the next 15, 20-ish minutes. I usually,
just kind of hang out, chat a little bit until we get into the game dev stuff. So welcome. Glad to see you here. And yeah, should be a good time. Why am I not becoming? Oh my goodness.
I just realized a huge mistake. I realized a huge mistake with Eclipse Chan. Give me 2 seconds. We're going to come in here and we're going to do just a little bit of this. We're going to say white, and then we're going to do a second. Add a stroke to this guy. I'm on Photoshop. You can do it. There we go. Stroke. I'm going to say on the outside, black. We're going to make it like a 4, 3. Let's do a 3. And there we go. 3. And then let's increase this up to be a, I don't know, 80? Holy smokes! Okay, that's too big. Sure. What does the icon look like for first? That's actually, I should probably, that's not what I want. What does the icon look like for first? What is that? There we go. Okay, so second. I want first. Duplicate. Over here to first. What do we got? Oh my gosh, why did I put in so much effort for first? What was I thinking? Everybody? Close enough. We'll just stick with this for now. Let's just do a little bit of this. Let's just make it crazy. We'll say you to be like 150. Yeah, there we go. That's nuts. We're going crazy, everybody. We're going absolutely nuts. Look at that. We're wilding out. Now let's save this, not into my YouTube thumbnail section. We're going to go to, I'll just stick with downloads. We're just going to call you second X112. Save that. All right. And then we're going to switch this down to not canvas size. We want to do image size down 50%. Save this as second 58X. And we'll resize it one more time down another 50% to 28 pixels. That is how things go. I think I need a little bit more stroke on this guy, don't you think? I think so. There we go. Good enough. I'll fix it. I'll make it better later. But for now, wait, 28. What was the other one? 56? Oh, that was 56. Oh, well. Doesn't really matter. Does not really matter. Now, we come over to here, and we'll do a little bit of dish. Upload. Not my thumbnails folder. And we'll go to downloads, and we'll go to second 28, second 56, and second 112. Go. All right, is everybody ready? Because as soon as I activate this, you're going to be able to redeem it. So as soon as I hit create, you will be able to go in and redeem second. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. And there we go. Second is now available. Ah, look at that. Cameron, you got second. Although I just realized I did not turn on a alert for second. Dang it. That's my bad. We're going to fix that. We're going to fix it. Let's see. Brian says, hey, Moonwood Games. I hope you're well. I'm doing absolutely fantastic, Brian. How you doing? How's life? Hopefully things are going well for you. How is the vibe coding with the music program going? Also, I asked you what kind of program it was last time, and you never told me. Is this a music program to play music, or is this a music program to make music? Hope it is going well either way. Whichever way, I hope that it's going well. All right, let's go over here. I'm really frustrated that you cannot just duplicate these guys, but oh well. It is what it is. New variant. We're going to call this one second. No, let's do second. This is going to be for the second. Yep. Duration is going to be 3 seconds. I'm going to say the layout, sure, whatever. Text to speech is going to be so-and-so just redeemed second. This is going to be say alert text. This is going to be playing at 90. Visuals and sounds, we're going to get rid of that, and we're going to get rid of the sound, I think. What does first have? Does first? Oh, first has riff. Oh. I don't want to upload a sound. I just want to go to sound library. And we want to find, search for riff. What the freak is riff? Sort by name. We come over here, page 2 maybe. Oh, that's gonna be like page 5. Okay, so we got raid. Where's riff? Okay. I told you to sort alphabetically. What is this? There we go, riff. That's the one. Holy smokes, that is loud. That was really loud for me. I don't know. I'm sure it wasn't as loud for you guys. Oh, that would be why it was so loud. I had my volume turned up very loud. Okay. Second is now enabled. Save change. Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay. We're good to go there. I apologize for kind of wasting the second, but you did technically get second. So there we go. That is a very exciting time. Anyway, there we go. We can just leave that page. Cool. And yeah, let's do that. All right, well, welcome everyone. I am glad to see you here. Hopefully everyone is having an absolutely fantastic week so far. Let's jump in here. Okay, so I was looking at that before. Okay, so we should be good there. All right, let's catch up on chat. Let's see here. It's a competition. It is a competition. It is absolutely a competition. Actually, we're going to be having a competition here pretty soon. Unfortunately, over on YouTube, I'm not able to do as much of a competition with what we're going to be doing here in just a moment. But if you want to, at least post in the comment section what you think the coin flip. So we're going to be doing a coin flip. If you want to post in chat which one you think it's going to land on, you can still also do that. It would be a good time. So we are going to be doing a coin flip here in the next little bit. I'm going to get caught up on chat really quickly though, and then we're going to do that. We're going to take a look at art. I'm going to do the trifecta, and then we're going to jump in and start on the game dev stuff. So let's actually start the prediction. Here we go. Let's start prediction. Coin flip, heads or tails. What?
Just Arcade turned Moon Man into a chicken.
I was like, what happened? Why is that? Oh my goodness, that actually just reminded me. I do need to fix Goth-chan, because Goth-chan is no longer Goth-chan. Goth-chan is now, what did we decide to call her? Eclipse-chan. Eclipse-chan is what some ran dev decided that we should call. So, let's see. Brad says, oh, it was a basic DJ application, just dabbling in something I don't know, so I can learn it.
Summoned Eclipse-chan.
No, you can't summon Eclipse-chan. Eclipse-chan is broken. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, so Goth-chan, we need to edit appearance. We need to rename you to Eclipse-chan. Save that. And then let's edit settings. PNG tuber. Okay, that's fine. And then edit the triggers. The triggers, so that is not summon Goth-chan. That is now actually going to be, let me come over here. I need to go to viewer. Where is it? Power up and channel points over here. And we're going to find Eclipse-chan. So this name is actually now instead of, so it's that now. So I need to change the trigger to be that. Okay, save. There we go. Save that. Okay, I'm going to refund the Goth-chan stuff that has been redeemed because I apologize that I completely forgot to go into Leorin board and get those updated. So let me go over here. I'm gonna go to the reward requests queue. Holy smokes, that is a lot of requests. Let's come over here. Let's go all the way to the last page. So we've got summon Goth-chan. I'm going to reject, and we've got Goth-chan reject. There we go. Okay. Those have been refunded, so you should have your points back now. And yeah, so now Goth-chan will work, who is now Eclipse-chan, which is why it wasn't working because the Orin board is waiting for the trigger of a Goth-chan redeem, but it was now Eclipse-chan. So yeah, good times there. Good times. All right, let's see here. Catching up on chat really quickly. He's not even here, just here for and me. Yes, just write second first. Lamau. That is actually a really great idea. I like that as Aaron Nerd. I've been modeling a 3D and software is crushing. Wait. I've been modeling a 3D and software is crushing many times. I can't quite tell if you're meaning that in a positive way. I mean, modeling is a good thing, but then you're adding the crying. So I don't know if you're meaning that it's a bad thing or a good thing. I hope it's a good thing. Make it 50, keep it 2. You should make them type text. Lol. I should, shouldn't I? Wow, really just getting rid of me like that. I didn't get rid of you. I didn't, I swear. I just think that maybe we need a secondary way to allow people to be first and second. Just saying. I'm just saying. Look who finally showed up. Let's see, 7-dimensional. Make that about 50. Let's see, try catch. Oh my goodness. Hello, welcome. Glad you're here. Wait. Try catch deviant development. Is this Bryant? I can't remember. Was this Bryant? Now I'm trying to remember. I feel like your name was one that I was going to try to remember if this was Bryant or someone else that I can't remember the name of. Let's see. Poor Adstera. Red with a white star behind it. Yellow. And don't worry, I am going to make it look better here in just a little bit. Audacious, cracky, peppermint, hey girl. Wait, what is this? Oh, it's a clip? Image size. What's going on with the image size? I'm so confused. I'm so confused on what is going on here. Oh, because of the stroke. Stroke on the guy. I get it now. I get why you shared it now. So many ads. 2 ad breaks. Ad stream just started. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I would say I can't control them. I kind of can, but I have turned them down to the absolute lowest possible. So I can't control it past that. I'm very sorry. Couldn't even do it. Rigged. Suits you all well. Whirl. I retyped what I meant. Let's see, we got some dance, we got some waving. This is Bright, FYI. Okay, hello. That was the name that I was gonna try and remember.
Axel _ Benedict cheered 5 bits. Axel _ Benedict has bribed his way into being first to the stream.
Welcome, Axel. Welcome. Congratulations on being first on the stream. Congratulations. That is quite the bribe, and I will take it. I will take that bribe. Also, a hashtag giveaway. Yes, absolutely. Let us highlight the hashtag giveaway in just a second here. She's broken? No. So she wasn't broken. The program that I use to display in OBS was broken, but it is fixed now. It is fixed now. Wish I could change my vote to heads. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. Frick, are you doing really bad way? Whenever I touch 3D model, its UI becomes bright white and frozen. That is, yeah, that's not good. That is not good. I wish I knew how to help you, Scoiled, but I don't. But I hope it starts working soon. Okay, that's right. It's the Aegis Arcade that was Bryant. Try catch development, but no, not Bryant. Okay, sorry, I apologize. I know there are a few people that have been on YouTube that switch over to Twitch every now and then, and I can never remember whose names are what, so I apologize. I am very sorry. I believe in heads. I believe in heads too. Try catch development. Okay, and then let's see here. Then Axel with the 5 bits, which I do appreciate. Thank you. I deliberately have exactly 14k mana right now. That's a pretty deliberate choice right there. See, heads maybe. All right. Sounds like we're on heads. And Aegis Arcade is me. That's right. That is you. That's you. That is my bad. All right, everybody. Let's see. What's the next part of the stream? Let's do. Should we do heads or tails next? I feel like we should do heads or tails next, and then art, and then the trifecta, and then we're gonna do actual game dev stuff. I swear. It's gonna happen. We're not even 20 minutes in, and look at that. We're already making progress. So I'm gonna get this pulled up here really quickly, and then we are going to jump over into, you all know it, you all love it. It is going to be heads or tails. Oh yeah, here we go, everybody. All right, we are. For everybody who is aware, you already know the rules, but for anybody who is new here, who does not know the rules, basically what is going to happen here is I'm going to flip this coin, and we're going to flip it until heads or tails has a 3-point lead. So kind of think scoring in, like, say, what the freak is that scored? Tennis. Specifically, I'm thinking table tennis. Anyway, yes, so whoever has 3 points, a 3-point lead first wins. So here we go. Let's see how we go. And yeah, let's everybody cross your fingers for the ones you voted for. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, we got one heads. What do we got next? We got one heads. Next up, we got a tails. Everybody. Let's see what's next. Here we go. Oh, we got another tails. Is tails gonna win it this time, or is heads gonna win it? Everybody cross your fingers if you got tails. Oh, we got tails, everybody. We have got tails. Congratulations if you voted for tails. Not bad at all. Very nicely done. Only 4 flips, and we got it on tails. Beautiful. Masterfully done. Yeah, there we go. Congratulations if you voted for tails. Absolutely fantastic. Those points are going to be coming your way. And if you did not guess tails this time, or you didn't win this time, don't worry. There's always next time. The next time that we play heads or tails. Yeah, good times. Good times there. All right, everybody. Well, I'm glad that everyone had some good times there. I mean, I guess maybe if you voted for heads, you probably didn't have a great time. If you voted for tails, hopefully it was an absolute blast of a time. All right, let's come over here, and we're going to manage the prediction. We're going to choose the outcome. Well, it looks like a lot of people voted tails, so I guess we will not have too many unhappy people. So that's good. That's good. All right, let's go here to tails. Complete prediction. There's going to be 13,000 channel points coming your ways. Split, of course. You're not each getting 13,000 channel points, but there we go. There we go. Absolutely fantastic, beautiful stuff. Hashtag Team Tails. Not bad. Not bad. Let's see here. Okay. I believe in Joe Hendry. I don't know who Joe Hendry is, but I believe in Joe Hendry too, just because you have convinced me. Let's go with the eating.
Just summoned Moonshine.
Wait for it. Hey, look at that. It's Moonshine. Hello. Hello. It's me. I'm Moonshine. Doody-doo. Doody-doo. I am Moonshine. Brain fart? What's this? What's this brain fart going on here?
What is this? What is this? Heads or tails? Wait, where's my brain fart coming? Oh, my brain fart's coming in later. That is coming in later. Oh, it's because I couldn't. It's because I
couldn't think of the term for that one thing. I'm having another brain fart. Don't make fun of me. Don't make fun of me. As an inverted chicken, you cannot make fun of me. You cannot make fun of me as an inverted chicken. But thank you, Cameron. I appreciate that. Let's go, says Farrowwinkling, and Scoiled cries. I'm so sorry, Scoiled. Defo bot rugged. It's tragic. It's absolutely tragic. Leginder Dev says, morning! Guess who passed out at 10 p.m. and woke up hella early? Leginder Dev, I'm going to take one guess. I'm waiting till I'm not a chicken anymore. Was it you? I'm getting a call. They can go to voicemail. I'm guessing it was you, Leginder Dev. That is my guess. It was indeed. I got it right. I got it right. Let's see. Heads or tails is sponsored by Moonshine Industries. True. The Moonshine Industries is strong with this heads or tails. All right, everybody, let's go take a look at art. I have a missed call now. And then we're going to do the trifecta, and then we're going to jump in, and we are going to do the extra stretching, and then game dips. Oh, and the giveaway. So let's do art, and then the giveaway, and then the trifecta. It's going to be a good time. All right, everybody, let's take a look here. Let's see, what do we got? Okay, so we did take a look at those. So we've got the new one here. Oh my goodness, we got ourselves a green girl, and I'm loving it. I'm loving the vines coming down the arms. She looks fantastic. Love the hair. Beautiful stuff. Love how the hair is over the one eye, but then you got the one very nicely detailed eye. Beautiful stuff. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Keep it up, Cameron. Again, and I know I've said this before, I love that you post so often because I can watch your skills like go up over time. You know that wasn't me because I was talking while it happened. I can see your skills like improve and continuously get better over time, which is absolutely fantastic. I love to see it. So keep going, keep drawing, keep posting, and I love it that you do. So thank you for posting that. You can burp while talking. I'm not even going to what is with my brain today? I cannot think of how to finish my sentences. Holy smokes. Ignore the redeem? What? The burp? That's what I'm assuming anyway. And then also mana. Wait, and 14 cat. That is a very purposefully set number, and I love it. I love it very much so. It's beautiful mana. I like how you had to create yourself. Also, my mama. All right, everybody, let's really quickly just mention the giveaway here. So if you are a part of the Discord server, you're probably already aware of this, but if you are not, and if you would like to join the Discord server to be a part of this giveaway, make sure to join and then head over to the Game Key Giveaways channel right here, this one right here where it says Game Key Giveaways. You'll click on it, and then there will be this post right here, and all you have to do is add a reaction to it. Just add one reaction. So as it says right here, just add a reaction by this. Reaction to this post for a chance to win a Steam key on the Sunday the 17th stream. So yeah, so on the next stream, so on the Sunday stream, we will be doing a Steam key giveaway, and in case you forgot, or if you're new here, it is not just any key on Steam, and it's not just some random Steam key. It is a list of about 600 plus keys that Loki is so very generous to donate. And so make sure to react to this, and then you will be given access to the spreadsheet that contains all of those keys, and you'll be able to pick the one that you want. So it's not just some random key. You'll actually get to have the choice and choose one. So anyway, so make sure to come in here if you have not already, add a reaction to this post, and should be a good time. All right, everybody. Let's see here. Let us see here. So we have got the trifecta now. So let's do the trifecta, and then we are going to... I think we're going to jump into game dev. Really? Already? Let's see if we can get started on game dev before the 30-minute mark. Here we go. Let's crank the jams right as the song is fading out. Is the song fading out? Kind of sounds like it's fading out. Oh well, we'll see what happens. Anyway, let's do the trifecta, shall we? I think we shall. Oh boy, I am ready. All right, everybody, you know how it goes. 10 on the clock. Count them with me. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew. And then we have the chest benders. 10 on the clock. Count it with me. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew. And now, since I missed the one on the last stream, let's do a double stretch. Oh, let's go to the left. And then to the right. And then to the left again. And then to the right again. And then backwards. Oh. And wait for it. Backwards again. Oh. Oh, that feels good. Oh, that feels good. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Ooh, okay. Oh, I feel ready for game dev. Does everybody else feel ready for game dev? I feel ready for game dev. All right, let's see. What do we got here? TP Foo Fun. What's TP Foo Fun? I don't know, but I appreciate it, Scoiled. Thank you. See, I couldn't make that sound. Now could I? No, I could not. Whew, it is hot down here. Oh. I preemptively turned on my fan, but I had it like face up at the ceiling, and apparently that's not doing as well at cooling me. So, ooh, all right. Okay, so let's pull up Tomb of Vercilias. So, if you remember from last time, we were working on the skill tree, and we are still working on the skill tree. So I technically did two things since the last stream. And the one thing that I did do, I ended up taking out. So the one thing that's actually still in the game has to do with the skill tree itself. Basically, what I have done is, if we come over here to common events, spawning monsters. Oh, it actually is already spawning monsters. Cool. Good. Yeah, so basically what I've done is I've made it so if you remember, if you were ever going into combat, and then if you open up the skill tree, it would erase some of the cards because it was overwriting image layers, which is not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. So if you open the skill tree, and if you close it again, some of the cards are missing. But I have adjusted the layer of the skill tree, so now it will actually show the skill tree. You can open it up. So if you're in combat and you're like, crap, I'm gonna die, I have a couple skill points. What can I use to be able to, you know, save myself? Like, can I spec into some wording? Can I give myself some luck? Can I give myself some more HP or something like that? So yeah, so I have done that so you can actually open it up in combat and not have it break things. I did just realize, though, that it's still saying Tuskrat up here, which is the name of the mouse, or the rat, I suppose, which that should not be showing. That should not be showing. So, let's see. If you click the menu, I guess it turns on skill tree scene, which is switch 148. So let's open up the HUD editor. 148. Oh, I can get rid of this picture. I don't know where this picture is, but I can get rid of it now. Okay, so let's hide everything else. Let's find Tuskrat. There it is, Tuskrat. Okay, so you only show if variable 94 is greater than 0. So we need to say if you're greater than 0, and if game switches dot value. Crap, what was the switch again? It was 148. 148. Switch 148 is equal to false. Refresh. There we go. Okay, so Tuskrat is gone, but if I close this, comes back. Open it up, goes away. Close it, comes back. Happy day. Happy day there. Let's see here. Nirwanda says, wow, that HUD header has a lot of stuff going on. Is that a commercial plugin? There is so much going on here in this plugin. I feel like I am pushing it to its limits. there is a lot. There's a ton going on. So if I come in here and we go to displayers and I turn off the full screen, yeah, so basically, so this is the editor. And to answer your other question, is that a commercial plugin? So it is a plugin that you can use. It is made by some so back in the day when it was made by some random dude. If you are familiar with RPG Maker plugins at all, you have probably heard the name Some Random Dude. But yeah, so Some Random Dude is the one that made the HUD Maker plugin. Highly recommended, absolutely fantastic plugin. I do not have a single RPG Maker project that I do not create that is a lot of negatives. There's not a single project that I create that I have not added HUD Maker in like 10 years. So yeah, so basically, for RPG Maker MV, which is what I'm creating this in, it is utilizing the plugin for this specific build of the engine. So with RPG Maker MV, so that is what this one looks like right here. And so basically, this is a list of every single element that I have on the screen. It is a lot. It is so many. I have like added and removed some over time, but apparently I have created 395 elements. Now, obviously, as you can see, it only goes up to 113. So like I have created a ton and deleted a bunch. But anyway, yeah. So there we go. So that is that's that. Yeah, I know of him. Thanks for the info. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so Some Random Dude is now Some Ran Dev. Which actually, fun fact, streams game development over here on Twitch, and is also actually a part of this stream every now and then. I'm assuming that they are probably just asleep right now. I know that it is a little bit later where they are, but yeah. So Some Ran Dev is what they go by now, and yeah. So great content, great stuff. Still great plugins for RPG Maker MV and MZ. So anyway, if you're using RPG Maker MV, I would highly recommend using the HUD Maker plugin. You can do some absolutely crazy wild things. Like, so much on this screen is the HUD Maker. Like this text here, this text, this text, all of the graphs right here to show like the indicators of health. Everything over here in the player sections, like the name, the numbers, all of that stuff is HUD Maker. When I switch over to the items, I guess none of those are any of that. But anyway, so much of this project I am using the HUD Maker. It is absolutely wild, absolutely fantastic. Highly recommend. And over here, like when you if you start upgrading your skills, these little bars here, those are all HUD Maker. So yeah, great stuff. Some Ran Dev also does not work until an hour has passed too. See, they're taking a note out of my book where it's you start the stream, you hang out, you chill, you chat, it's a good time, and then you get into game dev stuff. It's the way to go. It's the ultimate way to go when it comes to game development. I don't know why, but it's the perfect balance for doing game dev stuff. Okay. So anyway, yeah, so that is what I worked on and actually kept in the game. As this is all fixed now, where you can open it and close it in combat and everything's fine. Yeah. So if you remember from last stream, stuff we were working on again, more of this stuff right here of the skill tree. So the vitality part is completely done. And we have already worked on Roll with the Punches, which lets you increase your dexterity saving throw. So if I were to, say, increase this up to a 10, so now I have a dexterity saving throw plus 10. So if I were to try and leave combat, no matter what I roll, I'm going to roll the dice and then get a plus 10. I only can go up to 20, so, that was not a great example. Let's go get into more combat, and then if I try to leave this combat, and if we roll super low, we should then get a plus 10. So yeah, nat 1 plus 10. But then, of course, we lost 10% of that roll because we're wearing this item right here, which reduces our dexterity saving throw by 10%. So all of that is good to go. How is my... Oh, that's why. I was like, how is my health so much? It's because I increased health. Let's see. So we also worked out the swift evasion, which increases your chances of escaping combat without being attacked. We did get that down. So if you increase this all the way up to 50%, you will have a 50% chance of not having to roll a dex save throw when you try to run. You're able to run. And let's see if I can just run again. Nope. But I can do the dex saving throw. I'll get an 18 plus 10 minus 10%. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. Have we done anything else? Serpentine.
Just summoned Moonshan.
Hello, I'm Moonshan, and apparently I am missing all of my things. There we go. I've got my hair back. My hair is back. Let's see here. Do you work down or up the skill tree? You work up the skill tree. Is the direction that it's going. So yeah, so this is like the starting point along the bottom, and you're working up to these guys. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to potentially try to redesign this. I'm like leaning towards not, unless of course we feel like we want, if it makes more sense to start from the top and work down. We could do that. The other thing I've maybe potentially thought about doing is combining all of these together and having them all be dependent on each other, right? Which is kind of what I was trying to do with the whole, because it's like you have to start at this one and then it kind of branches off to these two. So you have to, get this one and this one before you can get this one. But if you want to be able to get this one, you have to do this entire branch here, and then you have to do this branch here. So I'm trying to decide if it makes more sense to keep it like this, or maybe do some kind of like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that one out in terms of like what I'm actually going to do to make it feel and look right. So if anyone has any suggestions, or if it feels like this is weird or confusingly laid out, I know that for me, sometimes I will get an idea in my head and I will build it out and not really think too much about it. But like, because I'm working on it myself, it all makes sense in my head. I'm like, yeah, this is the starting point. And then you just kind of work up, and then someone else from the outside will come in and take a look at it and be like, what the freak is going on here? And so if that's the case, if you come in and you're like, what the freak is this? Like, this makes no sense. Why would you go from bottom to top? You should go, top to bottom, or left to right, right to left, whatever it is. I can 100% absolutely make some changes here. But yeah. So that's what's going on there. There was an arc where they... That's true. There was an arc there. Wait, we make games in this stream? That's crazy times. I know, fair winkling, but we do. They ate a fried chicken image on that chat once. True. And I was very jealous. That fried chicken looked really good. All right. I think it is time, everybody. Do you know what it's time for? It is time to crack open the Dr. Pepper. Oh, now that is a way. That is a way to stream. That makes me happy. Yeah, spoiled with the drinking. Wait, is that a drink? Are they drinking? Maybe that's what that means. If they're drinking, that would make a lot more sense. All right, everybody. Oh, that's right. So I was going to highlight the other thing that I had kind of worked on, and I decided it wasn't fun. It wasn't as fun as I was thinking it was going to be. But I don't know, maybe everyone else will be like, actually, that's kind of a fun time. So let me just show you really quick what I had worked on earlier and then scrapped eventually, because I was like, this actually isn't as fun. But maybe someone has a better idea on how to make it fun, to take this concept and make it fun. So basically, the concept was to try and adjust the lockpicking system just a little bit, so it wasn't just a popper minigame. I wanted to create some kind of something, like actual lockpicking resemblance. So here was what I kind of had. Basically, when you were playing the lockpicking minigame, you'd have the little board down here where you're doing the popper puzzle minigame thing, and then basically the idea would be you would have these circles up here. Now you would not manually be rotating these circles, kind of like with the portal circle thing. Basically, what would happen is you would have the key on the outer ring, and then basically just imagine the rings would all be rotated in some way, shape, or form randomly, and ignore all of like the misalignment, right? They're not perfectly circle in this example. Anyway, so basically all of the rings would kind of be like rotated in random ways. And then every time you, like, say for example, if you were to click and pop, I guess for lack of a better term, if you were to pop a red element, it would then rotate the dial a certain amount. So, say for example, if you were to pop 5, it would rotate it, I don't know, 25 degrees or something like that. Or if you were to pop 6, it would rotate it 30 degrees or something along those lines. But basically, the idea would be you were trying to pop specific ones in order. It would always turn clockwise, and then once you got it in order, so basically the key would be following. Let's see if I can find key. The key would be following the opening, and then as soon as the opening lined up in front of the next one down, it would then drop into the next section. And then you would kind of be wanting to focus on then rotating the next dial around until eventually you were able to get it to the blue one. And so then once you got to the blue one, the key is following, it would then pop it down into the purple one, so on and so forth, until eventually you got the purple one to rotate like so, and then it would drop the key down into the lock, and then it would unlock, and then you'd be good to go. This was more of like some concept images. I got it all put into the game. I made it so like as you, I keep wanting to say redeemed. You're not redeemed. That as you pop them, they would rotate the dials. it just didn't feel quite right, and so I erased it all, scrapped it all. So if anyone has any ideas on how we could implement the popper minigame to be able to implement some kind of way into like a lockpicking-esque minigame, let me know. Let me know if anyone has any ideas they would like to shout out. Would love to hear if anyone's got any ideas for it. Yeah, really anything that could potentially represent or symbolize picking a lock is kind of where I'm wanting to go with. And that can be in any capacity, one way or the other, whether it's spinning dials. Another thing I was kind of thinking about was maybe something along the lines of like, say, if you've ever played, gosh, why is my brain so shot today? I am so sorry. If you've ever played Oblivion, you'll kind of know the lockpicking minigame there. Essentially, if I just kind of sketch it out just a little bit here really quickly. Go with a 10. Yeah, sure. Basically, the way that the Oblivion lockpicking minigame works is you have your lockpick here, right? And then you've got your lock here, and then you've got your pins all right here. And you gotta basically use the lockpick to be able to like push the pins up to a locking spot, and then once they lock in place, then you would like push the lockpick in more, and then you kind of move it up and down once it gets locked in place, and so on and so forth. Repeat. And then if you make a mistake or something like that, it breaks the lockpick, everything resets, and then you got to go again. So kind of what I was thinking about maybe doing is we would have the pins, but the pins would all be representative of the different elements, kind of like we had before. Hello, I'm Moonchan. Hello, welcome. Glad to see you here. Yeah, so basically the pins would all be based on the elements that we have in the game. And so basically, let me come over here. What the?
_ Benedict cheered 50 bits.
Oh my goodness,
Hey,
what the?
Moon Man, I have an idea, but it's
Yes.
not for this.
Oh.
There's a very special surprise I had made for you with oiled. You should really check Discord for it.
That makes me a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie. But absolutely, I'm gonna go take a look. Am I checking a DM or am I checking like a channel? Let's see, Aiden over on YouTube says, I'm making designs for my own game. Hey, Aiden, that is absolutely fantastic. What kind of game are you going to be working on? Would absolutely love to hear what you got going on. And do you have an engine in mind that you're going to want to be using? Yeah, so basically the idea would be, instead of your like pushing up the pins with the thing, basically what you're doing is there would be the lockpick here, and then you would have the, I don't know, some kind of semblance of a lock here. You're then trying to get the pick 2, and then so as you, I don't know, as you like pop different red elements, then the pins would go up and down. It's like, you know, say for example, like as you pop more, like they'll go up, and then once they hit a certain spot, they would then start to go down. And so then you're basically trying to get all of these out of the way, because then as soon as, you know, as soon as this kind of gets to this point, if you're pushing through and say, for example, you know, get the blue one, you get to move the blue one out of the way, but then if you have to pop some of the red ones and the red ones then move up, it would then snap the lockpick breaks, you trigger some kind of trap or something, and then it goes again. So that's kind of another idea that I was having, but again, if anyone has any other suggestions, would love to hear it. And it could literally be anything related to some kind of lockpicking mechanic. Just keep in mind, I do want to utilize the popper minigame of it all. So I don't want to veer away from the popper minigame that we've created, just because I'm very proud of being able to make it. Hold up. Give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. We're going to go with a -5 and -4. Here we go. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Ah, crap. I don't know where to check. That was easy. Anyway, yeah, so I do want to keep essentially this minigame here, but it can change in some way, shape, or form. So kind of the general idea is like we would have something pop up over here that would like overlay on top of the door scene, and then, you know, you'd basically be popping these to make the puzzle progress. So it wouldn't be something directly interactable up here. It would be something down here that's actually doing the thing. So anyway, so like I said, if anyone has any suggestions, would love to hear them. If not, totally fine, totally fair. I'll probably just keep thinking about what we might be able to do. So, let's see here. It's DM, by the way. Okay, all right. We are going to take a look at that. Let me just get this pulled up here really quickly. I'm gonna get this pulled over to here. Wait. I don't see... I don't see a DM. What's the DM? Where's the DM? Oh! It wasn't a DM from you. Okay, that makes more sense. What do we got here? Oh my goodness. Yes! Okay, alright, I gotta pull this up. Oh my gosh, what? Is everybody ready? I don't think everybody's ready for this. I do not think everybody's ready for this. Look at that thing. Look at that thing! Yes! Oh, look at Moonshan go! Oh my god. That is an absolutely fan-freaking-tastic dance. Oh my gosh, Scoiled! You have outdone yourself, Scoiled! You have outdone yourself. Oh my gosh. So wait, Axel, was this something that you chatted with Scoiled about? You guys kind of like brainstormed, like this is absolutely fantastic. I love this. While in the cord, Loki, I will definitely take a look. Absolutely. Let me know where I'm going, Loki. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. All right, well, let me know, Axel, what you were kind of thinking, because I mean, my brain's going everywhere with this. Like, I'm thinking we're gonna do. Obviously, we got to add this to the server as a emote. We've got to add this to Twitch as an emote. I am also maybe even kind of thinking I may be going in and replacing some of the alert notification animations, because like for anyone who has paid attention, anytime that someone either gifts a sub or subscribes, it plays like the whole like card flip, like blackjack animation. It like pulls up the cards, they flip over to show a blackjack, and yeah, but I think I might replace it with freaking dancing Moonshan. That is amazing.
Jonas Frog just redeemed 3 EH.
Jonas, welcome. Glad to see you here. It takes so many days to finish this. I believe it. That is a lot of frames of animation. Like, holy smokes. That is absolutely wild. I love that so much. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna open in browser. We're going to save image as. We go. And then we're gonna come over to here. Do a little bit of dish. Okay, what do we got here? Oh my, 30 frames. 30 frames of animation. It's also possible there's more than that, because I never know with Photoshop what it's actually going to be doing. Freaking adorable. Oh, this is beautiful. I love this so much. You have outdone yourself here so much. Scoiled, this is absolutely amazing. Yeah, I am definitely going to be getting this added in so many places. This is going to be absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. So Axel, I have to ask then, what? First of all, how did you know about this? And then, second of all, like what?
Axel _ Benedict cheered 5 bits. It was planned to be in Twitch alert. And I've been planning this ever since Moonchan was introduced.
Well, I love it. I absolutely love it. So, thank you, Squirrel. Thank you, Axel. This is beautiful stuff. Yeah, this is definitely going in Twitch alert. This is going in emotes, everything. It's gonna be fantastic. So long as I have some time, hopefully by the Sunday stream, I will have the dancing Moonchan implemented. That is absolutely fantastic. I've started to draw this from April 26th. Holy, it's finally done. I'm so satisfied. You should be. You very much should be, because yeah, this is absolutely fantastic. I love this so much. Like, this is amazing. Like, literally every frame, I'm just like, so many of these, I'm like, I could literally just like take this and just like, I could just freaking add it somewhere and it would be beautiful. Just like everything about every single frame, I'm like, this is just fantastic. it's beautiful.
Benedict cheered 5 bits. I brought it up with Scoiled and they loved the idea immediately.
I love it too. I love it too. It is beautiful. I love it. Well, thank you. Thank you. I do appreciate it. Scoiled, that is so much time. Like, because like, what would that be? That's like over half a month. Holy smokes. Well, I do appreciate the time you put into this. Like, this is absolutely fantastic and amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much, Scoiled. Oh my goodness. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Here on Twitch and or YouTube. Yeah, it could honestly... Wait. Step 1 to sentence. If you have a slot, you should add it as an animated emote. Yes, absolutely. So I'm pretty sure I do have at least one more animated emote slot left. So yeah, so I'm definitely going to be adding this as an animated emote. It's going to be an animated emote on the Discord server. It's going to be a part of the alerts, probably like when I have people summon Moonchan, when people subscribe. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. When I got this idea from Axel, I responded with, "Oh yeah, I will do that for free." What? You did it for free? Scoiled, I gotta send you some stuff. Because this is absolutely fantastic. Actually, I already know that I need to because of the bits that Footlong Icicle gave for Gothchan. I need to give you some of those bits. I gotta give you some. The pose looks so bashful. I know, right? It's amazing. Amazing and adorable. Huh? No, you remember. Footlong Icicle donated 666 bits to influence you to draw Gothchan. This frame, I know, yeah, this frame is absolutely fantastic. But then, like, it's so great because, like, you can just click on any of the frames, and I'm just like, that is just amazing. That is amazing right there. Oh, never mind. You deserve a moon. No, you deserve it. You deserve it. We'll figure something out. I will send you a message. Okay, yes. So that is definitely going to be getting added, and it's going to be amazing. Let's see, Aiden over on YouTube says, a story RPG game. I am gonna be, I'm gonna use Unity, it's gonna make, wait, so you're gonna make it, so it's, okay, so it's gonna be 3D. Gotcha. Okay, that's gonna be super cool. Well, yeah, it's, so you say, so you're making designs for your own game, which is absolutely fantastic. So at what stage would you say you're currently at right now? So are you kind of like, scoping out a project? Are you actively working on the project? And do you have anything that you would like to share about the project? Because I would love to hear. I love hearing about what other people are working on. So if you want to share, would love to hear about it. If not, that's totally understandable. But I wish you the best of luck. I hope that it all goes well. It was planned for this to be your bit notification. That would be awesome. I have been planning this ever since Moonchan was introduced. Well, I think probably what I'm going to have to do, and Scoiled, as long as I have your blessing on this, I may add some things and change some things for it. Like, I may add a little bit of animation. Like, if I'm going to be using it for a bit notification, I may add like a bits falling animation as Moonchan dances. We'll see. As long as I have your blessing. I don't want to go in and change a bunch of the animation frames to fit the needs. So if you're not okay with it, I will just stick with the original animation. Now she looks prideful. Thank you, Moonman. I'm so glad to make one, and shout out for Axel for giving me the idea. Yeah, beautiful stuff. I love it. Okay, let's go check out the core. Oh, it brings a smile to my face. It brings such a smile to my face. All right, Loki, where are we looking? I'm going to guess first general. What have I missed? Oh my gosh. There was so much that happened. What did I miss? Okay, so it's not in general. Loki, where am I looking? Loki? Community projects? How have I missed so much? Wait. Thanks so much for taking... Okay, yeah. So this is the one that we played. We did look at that. Dave the Dave. How did I miss this one? What was this, 4 days ago? Yeah, you're gonna have to tell me. Look, I know where I'm looking. As soon as you tell me where I'm looking, I will go take a look. All right, everybody, let's jump over to here. See, as soon as I get to work, that's what's gonna make Loki actually jump in and be like, oh, it's over here. It's like when you go wash your car and then all of a sudden it rains. Kind of how it is, you know. So you do the one thing. Hey, look at that critic corner. You were right there. I'm going to take that to mean you were right there, meaning that I was correct there. I know that you mean that I was right there. But oh, we've got an update. We've got an update. And actually, really quickly, Loki, I will say this. I created a new project in RPG Maker. I started working on ways to recreate your look and feel. I don't think it's very possible in RPG Maker, so don't be expecting me to ever pop up and be like, hey, by the way, I also made a pop-up storybook-esque thing here. But let's take a look and see what we got going on here. Oh, that's right. I can't full screen it. Otherwise, but hopefully everyone can see. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm rewinding this so I can get the full effect. Oh, it looks so good. Like the way that everything moves, it all pops up. It's so cool. This is looking so good. It's just like whimsical. I feel like whimsical is the perfect word to use for this project. It is so whimsical and I love it. Like I want to play I want to play a full game like this so badly. Loki, please do not give up on this project. Please do not stop. Whatever you do, I want to play this project. It looks fantastic. I know, right? Like it's like the whole like pop-up storybook aesthetic is just so much fun. Like I love the idea and the concept of like walking around and the world like pops up around you like it was like you're walking through a storybook essentially. It just, yeah. Again, that's why I use the word whimsical. I feel like is the perfect way to describe the way that this looks and feels. Yeah, Loki, I think the reason why I wanted to make it in RPG Maker so badly is because I want to make something like this so badly. But I have to learn another engine to be able to do something like that. So maybe one day that'll happen. Maybe one day. That looks fantastic. It looks phenomenal. I would agree. I would agree. Wait a minute. Do you know what I just realized, Jonas? You redeemed stretch almost 10 minutes ago and we have not stretched yet. So everybody, let's stretch. Let's go over to the right foot. And then to the left. Oh, and backwards. Oh, that feels good. That feels good. How have y'all been? I have been doing absolutely fantastic, Jonas. How you doing? How's life going for you? Hopefully things are well. I do feel like it's been a hot minute, so I hope that things are going well for you in your life. I hope that you've been up to some fun, exciting things. All right, let's jump in here. Let's take a look at what we're going to be working on next. I want to get through this skill tree, so yeah. Okay, so we got roll with punches. We've got swift evasion. Next up, we're going to be working on serpentine. So serpentine, increase your chance to dodge incoming enemy attacks. Okay. Interesting. All right, well, easy enough. So so this is working in 2% increments. Okay. I know there is a example somewhere. Healing the player with skills. There we go. Copy that. Player bust. Monster bust. So player bust is the player getting attacked. Remove player hand 1. Remove player hand 2. Monster attack. Plus clear cards. Okay. So yeah, so this would be where we need to go, right here. If monster cards drawn is greater than 0, I think we would probably just jump over this entire thing. Where does it actually clear the cards? Life's a whole less hectic. Got some legal stuff sorted, finished up some projects, and now applying for jobs. Jonas, that sounds, well, not so fun that you had to go through all of that. But it sounds absolutely fantastic that you did get to the other side of all that hecticness. So I hope that life will continue to be a little less hectic, and hopefully things will not ever get that bad again. I hope. I've got my fingers crossed. But that's really good. I'm glad that you got all that stuff figured out and that you're applying for jobs. That is fantastic too. I love it. Yeah, I got some pieces that pop up from the side. The first combat arena with the switch in character design and the first point of interest. There are some other items I need to get in before I call the level built and then work on combat. Super cool. So here's the question though, Loki. What is your plan for combat? There's a couple different ways that I've been like envisioning this game going. So the first is obviously like the classic turn-based combat going on. So like you run to a monster and then you would stay on the map and enter like a turn-based tit-for-tat kind of combat. The other thing that I was kind of thinking would be like an action combat system. So would love to hear what you're kind of thinking for the combat in the game. And hopefully finally have some time to be here again. Jonas, I would love to see you here more often. I know that sometimes life gets absolutely nuts and just out of sorts sometimes. So don't ever feel like if you are missing the like, we are going to miss you if you're ever not here. But don't feel like there's going to be, I'm never going to be upset. I'm never going to be like, I haven't seen Jonas in 2 weeks. What the crap? I'm so angry. I'm just going to be that much more excited when I do see you again. So hopefully one way or the other, we do get to see you a little bit more often. Because it is, I absolutely love seeing you here. So I think what we need to do is, yeah, so this is the actual attack itself. I think all we need to do is I think we just need, okay, so this loops. This isn't getting rid of all
Skull
cards.
just summoned Moonchan.
Huh. What the? Hello. Oh, that's what's going on. Okay, I was like, I swear that I had changed. All right, Moonchan's gonna look a little bit funny for a little bit. Hold up. Whoa, look at how funny Moonchan looks. So I need to come in here and I need to change. Let's see, we would need the hair. Nope, hair. Is that the hair? That's the hair. You need to be a part of all outfits. And tree needs to be a part of all outfits. Mouth, eyes. Okay, I'm just making sure that everything is a part of all outfits. Oh, we don't need those eyes at all. Okay, so let's get rid of those eyes. There we go. Now I'm going to save this as Moonchan. Save. Okay. That way, I don't ever accidentally turn off the outfits for Moonchan. Because I was running into that issue every now and then, where I would like press 1 or 2, and it would switch the outfits. I'm like, we don't need to turn off the hair, we don't need to turn off the moon, the tree, so yeah, we're good there. We're good there. Gonna do a more hack and slash style, action style. I normally do turn-based, but I think I want to switch it up. That's fair. No, honestly, hack and slash is gonna be, I think it would be perfect for a game like that. And how has Tomb of Vercilias been going? It is going absolutely fantastic. I'm trying to remember what we would have been working on the last time you were here, but there's been so much. I'm trying to think of everything that's happened in the past. Again, I can't remember if it's been like months, but also I'm having a hard time remembering everything I've even done in the past few months. So, I mean, I guess, you know, need be, I could always come in here and we could just like scroll through everything that has been accomplished. I think it was cards, potions, and such. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, so the perk cards, so that whole system is done. We are still adding to it. So there's still only about 8 perk cards as of right now, so we do need to add more to it. But I mean, yeah, we've redone the combat, so the combat feels a little bit more tight. Let's see. We've got a whole skill tree. Now I'm trying to remember if that would have been in the game when you were here last. Yeah, so we got the whole perk card system that adds certain buffs and debuffs. On top of that, yes, we got the whole skill tree that we're working on currently, so you can build out your character a little bit more. We've like reworked entirely how the random gen works. So like it's probably gonna look relatively close to the same, but it is technically more efficient and a little bit better. Yeah. reworked a whole bunch of monsters. We've got a whole bunch of new monsters in the game. I say a whole bunch, we've got like 5 new monsters. We've got new monsters in the game. I've been reworking like the color palette. The items, we have a whole item system now. So you guys, yes, you got like potions, sandwiches, things like that, that actually serve a purpose and they actually do stuff. So that's pretty exciting stuff. Yeah. We've got a whole new lockpicking minigame. That was a nightmare and a half to get working. I think that's about it. Super duper exciting. I appreciate that, Jonas. Thank you. Yeah, it's there's been a ton that has been going on. It's one of those things that it's like when people ask and they're like, oh hey, like what have you been working on? Like what have you added in the past 6 months? I'm always just like, I feel like there hasn't been much progress. And then I think about everything that we have added and changed. And I'm like, okay, there actually has been quite a bit that we worked on so far this year. But oh, that minigame looks awesome. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, it was a bit of a challenge to get it working in RPG Maker. But that was honestly kind of why I wanted to add it, was because I was like, I want to make it so you can actually do it. So, oh yeah, we also have this whole, so in the tomb there is this little pedestal here that will randomly spawn, which contains what is called the Void Stone. Now the Void Stone you need to be able to exit the floor. So you'll need to find 2 things to be able to exit the floor. One, you have to find the Void Stone, and you have to collect that, and if you want to, I also made it so you can just like put random things back on the Void Stone. I'm trying to decide if we want to either do some kind of like you have to do a like a trade, right? And so like if you take the Void Stone, you have to put something on here or else something bad happens. We haven't implemented that yet, but basically, yes, you have to get the Void Stone, so you have to find that first. And then after that, you then have to actually find the actual exit. So let's go through here and see if I can find the exit. There we go. So then once you find the exit, then you gotta pick the lock. And so we just do this little lock picking mini game. Crap. Come on, give me some good purples. There we go. And obviously that is very bare bones. I will be adding more to it, making it more difficult. I just didn't want to make it too difficult in the early stages because I'm going to have to do it every single time I want to get into the mini boss room. And I was like, I don't want to do some complicated puzzle every single time I do it. So it is very simple, but it will be a little bit more complicated in the finished product. So yeah, and then we've got the mini boss working better. So that's pretty exciting stuff. I just realized I am not going to be able to beat this mini boss. He does 10 damage per hit and has 50 health. Yeah, this is not going to go well. I'm going to die so fast. I don't know if this was implemented the last time you were here. Basically, this is if you ever get a tie with the monster, instead of you both just losing, because that's kind of how it works in Blackjack, where if you get a tie, you get your money back, nothing, no harm, no foul kind of a thing. But I was like, it's kind of boring if you get a tie and just nothing happens. You have to play another round. So basically what happens is if you ever get a tie, you will roll this dice and you guess if it's going to be either evens or odds. And then if it lands on evens, if you guess evens, then you get to do damage. If you lose, then you get attacked and then you die. So good times there. But let me come over here. We're going to go to enemies. Scroll all the way down to here. Danathar, we're going to go to 1 HP and you're going to do 1 damage. We don't want these mini-bosses to be too crazy yet. Okay. Oh, gambling. Everyone loves a little bit of gambling. He did change the blackjack mechanic, then switched it back. I did switch it and then switched it back. I feel like that was a very long time ago, though. So I don't know, Jonas, if you would have been here before or after I would have made that switch. I honestly cannot remember. I know that it was a while ago. I know that it was last year that did happen. Which I'm pretty sure is what made Mathra stop chatting. I feel like it did.
Benedict cheered 5 bits. BTW, Moonman, Dancing Moonchan was based on the Hat in Time girl dance.
I'm not gonna lie, the first time that I saw it, it kind of reminded me of it, but I didn't want to draw any conclusions. And I feel a little vindicated I feel a little vindicated that when I saw it, I was like, she kind of reminds me of a Hat in Time character. That is really fun. I think you were hesitating on it before I was gone. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so I did basically redo the entire combat system. Technically, I did redo it to the point where like it was still blackjack mechanics, but played in a much different way. It was much more akin to, I was almost kind of recreating, what's that poker game? Why cannot think of the poker game? Oh, this is gonna kill me.
Axel_Benedict cheered 5 bits.
Balatro!
We should
That's the
summon
one.
Dancing Moonchan to dance in the corner for 60 seconds.
I'm down for that. I'm down for that. Let's, actually, honestly, what we could do, I'm gonna just do this really quickly here. Yeah, so anyway, so I basically reconstructed it to be more like Balatro. And, let's see here. Dancing Moonchan. Nope. Oh. And let's pick a file. Go to downloads. Oh. Yeah, there we go. We got ourselves Dancing Moonchan. Yeah, honestly, we could just leave her like right here. Just dance in the corner right here. Just the rest of the stream. It's beautiful. She's absolutely beautiful. There we go. Wear her as a hat. I don't know. I wish that I could get some kind of like facial or like head tracking software figured out that I could attach things to. I know that they exist. I just don't know where I would get them or how to implement them or anything like that. I guess we can also have her down here. We can throw her right there or over there. I don't know. One of them. She's on the screen, and I'll figure things out later. Just keep your head really still. I'll just be like this the rest of the night. I'll just be like, so anyway, yeah. So I did try to redo the combat mechanics to be a little bit more like Balatro, and it just was not. It didn't turn out great. I will say that. I loved the concept. It was not executed super great though, unfortunately. So anyway, so then I went back, rebuilt the combat system from the ground up to make it more efficient and just better. So yeah, so technically I know the system looks like it did before, but it is much more efficient and it works much better. Works much better. Oh my goodness. Oh, do you know what I just realized?
Benedict just summoned Eclipse Chan.
What I need to do is I need to add. Oh. I'll do that later. I'm not gonna get distracted. We're just gonna have her over in the corner for the rest of this stream, and then don't worry, I will figure things out for the next stream. I promise. Anyway, so yes, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so then the other stuff that what is happening? Eclipse Chan, where'd you go? Eclipse Chan? Oh no, what happened? Where's Moonman? No, the question is, where is Eclipse Chan? Hello, Eclipse Chan, where are you? There we go. We'll just do this for now. What is happening? What has happened? Why are you? I have a feeling actually. The Orin board, it's coming here. Eclipse Chan commands. Dang it! I always forget to. There's so many places that I have to change. This is just ridiculous. Okay, there we go. I am going to just do that and do that. Wait for it. There we go. Yeah, we're just gonna do that for a little bit, just to make up for the lost points. So there we go. Anywho, so then the other thing that I have also added was the actual. So there is technically actually a full loop now. So once you get the Void Stone, you will then once you defeat the Void Guardian, the basically the mini boss of the floor, you will interact with the glyphs, which will then pull up a puzzle here. And I'm not 100% satisfied with the UI here, but the puzzle itself I am very happy and very proud of. So basically the idea is you will line up these glyphs to like create an image or a series of lines beneath, and then you will throw in the Void Stone, and they'll all line up, and it'll be like, and then there you go. And then you've got the exit portal all activated and good to go, and you could, go out and you could collect more items if you want, so you don't have to necessarily leave right when that happens. But then once you're like, okay, I'm good to go, then you can come in here, it's still active, and you should be like, go through the portal, and then it's like, there you go. And then you're on floor 2. And you choose a new perk card. It adds to it, so then now you're kind of building out your character with the perk cards. In the demo, you will have the spell book here, just because I want you to be able to upgrade your spell book, and we're not going to have the town in the demo because the town is going to be so much more work. So I've added the spell book here so you can upgrade all of your spells here. And yeah, go in here, save your spell book, and then you go in and it loads you into floor 2, and you start going and playing the game more, and then you find a new, all the stuff and things. You just try to go as far as you possibly can. So, yeah. Good times. Anywho, that's what we got going on. That is what we have got going on now. I'm going to switch it back now. There we go. As much as I love hiding behind a PNG tuber, I will turn the webcam back on. Left, right, as you were making this. Okay, cool. Well, fun fact, the stuff that I was working on back then, I've basically completely scrapped all of it.
Says, drags self into chat, faceplants into floor. Hello, friends.
Hello, Ink. Welcome. Glad to see you here. Let's get a dancing Moonchan for Ink. There we go. Dancing Moonchan. Beautiful stuff. How you doing, Ink? How's life going for you? I'm not going to get distracted is something I know will never change. I do get distracted pretty easily, don't I? I'm like 99% sure I've got some kind of like ADHD or something like that, and I'm undiagnosed. But if I don't ask a doctor about it, then I technically don't have it. So there we go. That's how I'm living my life. You're tired? I'm very sorry to hear that you're tired. What's going on that's making you so tired? Have you been streaming too much? I feel like that can happen. And it can have that effect if you make that happen. You gonna pull up what I sent or nah? Oh, hey, look at that. You sent something. Black jacket. What do we got here? Oh, no. No. Stop. People need to stop making games like my game. Dang it. All right, what do we got here? Black jacket. Oh, no. Gamble your way out of hell in this blackjack-inspired roguelike deck builder. Play powerful card combos, or cheat to outwit your opponents and earn your freedom. Win their soul coins, bribe the ferryman, and uncover the story of those who stand in your way. Wow, this was literally released 2 days ago. Everybody. Oh, I need to finish my game so that I'm not the last one to release a blackjack roguelike. Gosh. Here I was thinking I was like the most original person, thinking I was going to make a blackjack roguelike. When little did I know, either lots of people already had one in development, or they already had one in general and I just didn't know it. On the bright side, we do still have our own originality. There's still stuff that is completely original as opposed to this. So we have that at least.
Hey, remember everything is a remix and nothing is original.
Exactly. And see, so here's the thing. Until someone makes a game that more closely resembles something like this, I'm not going to be too worried. But as soon as someone makes an actual dungeon crawling game where blackjack is the combat and there's a whole story and like all these different systems, then I'll be like, crap. But I think we should be fine. I think we should be all right. I do appreciate that you sharing that though, Loki. I mean, I already knew that I wasn't alone in all of this, but it's good. I'm glad to know that I'm even less so alone than I thought I was before. The game I'm currently playing while watching. Wait, you're playing Balatro. Okay. I like that. Quinlan says, I blame Balatro for the jump in French deck roguelikes. I mean, you're not wrong. You are not wrong. That's usually how it goes, is some game comes out, some indie game comes out, it explodes, and everyone goes, I'm going to make a game like that, but then add my twist on it so that it's different, so that it's new, that it's my own thing, which is totally fine. Like, nothing wrong with doing something like that. The problem is that it then becomes a trend, and then everybody starts chasing that trend. Yeah. And now I feel like I'm labeling myself as chasing that trend, aren't I? Dang it. But I have shown history that I have had this idea before Balatro even came out. So I have that. I have that at least. Not that it really means much. Oh well. Oh well. I just need to try and be a little bit more original, and then we should be fine. We should be all right. Anyway, let's see here. Okay. Catching up. I'm not gonna pull up or not. How y'all feel about green beans, chat? I love green beans. I'm not gonna lie. I really like them. Especially fresh green beans. Oh, you get them fresh off the vine. Oh, that stuff's good. No lamouts because my brain refuses to shut off. I get that. I get it. I'm sorry, Ink. Hopefully you'll be able to get some good sleep soon. I hope. What's up with the card games taking the market so much recently, like Balatro, and now this? There's a lot of them. There are so hundreds, thousands of them. There's a reason that some people are kind of feeling card game fatigue, which I get. I don't know. I feel like with the amount of indie games that come out and the amount that are not like deck builder games, I feel like that kind of evens itself out. But there are a lot. I will say there are quite a few. Hey, remember everything is a remix. That's true. I remixed a remix and it was back to normal. I didn't see Dungeon Delving, so I think you're fine. That's true. That is true, Chief Multi-Hat. There wasn't a whole lot. What
being a Metroidvania fan, Lamau.
Yeah. It's true. That's true. That's true. Yeah, there was not really a whole lot. So basically what I saw was there was the map progression akin to, and I know that Slay the Spire is not the first person, like the first game to do that, but it was basically the level progression akin to Slay the Spire. You know, it had the map and it had like its different points of interest that you were kind of building your path to, which is technically what I had in this game until I was like, no, that's not original enough. Let's scrap it. And now we're kind of to this. And so that's where I'm kind of like, every single time we've pulled up a game that has blackjack combat mechanics or something akin to it, obviously that's where like there's going to be the overlap there, but then we're able to set ourselves apart because we do have all these other systems that are going into it. We have the actual dungeon crawling aspect. We're gonna have the whole storyline, quests, all that stuff. So like we do have enough to make it feel like we are original and we're not just ripping off X, Y, or Z. But it does still make me go, I need to get this thing out there just in case someone else is also having nearly this exact same idea and they get theirs out first. That's where I'm going to be like, crap. So, I don't know. Starting my own blackjack dungeon crawling game and race Moonman to market. Joking, of course. No, fair inkling, please. Please, give me a chance. Give me a chance, please. If I do not have this out by the end of 2027, 2028, then you are free to make one. I got to set my expectations realistically, you know? Let's see, Quentin over on YouTube says, I've been trying to create a tabletop game based on old SRPGs for years. I know the feeling. Yeah, that is something that it becomes very difficult to do, but so cool when you can actually do it. I actually have tags on the video, both here on Twitch and on YouTube, putting TTRPG, because I do kind of feel like if you've got blackjack as the combat, it is kind of TTRPG-ish. Plus, the dungeon crawling as well, I feel like is very TTRPG-ish. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of mechanics in this game that does kind of make it feel like it's a tabletop game, because it's like, you know, you're using blackjack as the combat. You've got like a whole bunch of like D&D mechanics.
Being a fan of quirky old school RPG SCA Earthbound lol.
I'm a big fan of Earth and old school RPGs. They're a lot of fun. But I feel like there's enough, essentially like old school either tabletop games or like old computer RPGs that it does kind of feel akin to either tabletop games or computer RPGs. But yeah, honestly, yeah, that kind of stuff is so much fun. Yeah, so making something out of like, yeah, just like old SRPGs, very cool. I hope you're able to get to that point where you could make a tabletop game that's based on the SRPGs. That is super cool. I like kind of switching up and going in that direction. I want my game to be, I want my game to feel original and so weird. It will. It absolutely will. You know, it just takes a little bit of time. I do love me some Earthbound and the whole Mother series. Do you know what's funny? I've actually never finished Earthbound. I have started and restarted it a dozen times at least. Gasp. I know. I'm a heathen. I have never fully finished Earthbound. I have also never fully finished Chrono Trigger. That is another game that I have started well over like 20 times, and I have never gotten all the way to the end. I have made it very far about a dozen times, but I've never actually gotten to the end. I know the whole game, but I've never actually fully beat it.
Cheered 5 bits. Know how you make your own reason to go after Vercilias? I have the perfect reason.
Yes. Why did it stop? I don't know why it stopped. Finally reaches Vercilias after 300 attempts. Hello, Vercilias. I've been trying to reach you about your tower's extended warranty. Maybe I'll have to add that as a joke option, because I do plan on, once you get to Vercilias, you're gonna have some options. You're gonna have some options, but I think that'd be a really funny joke option. I'm just like, your tower's extended warranty. I gotta talk to you about it. Please don't hang up. I'm actually with you on that one. I really want to, though. It is a really good one. I do really like the story of Chrono Trigger. And again, like, I've played it many times. I have watched many playthroughs of it. So like I know the story, but I actually want to finish it. It's been a very long time since I've actually sat down and finished start to finish, actually gotten all the way to the end of a RPG, because like they're very long. They're fun, but they're very long. Very long indeed. Yeah. Actually, I'm pretty sure the last time that I fully finished an RPG was I went back and I replayed Final Fantasy II. So like, if any of you familiar with, so it's Final Fantasy IV for the United States. It's the one with like Cecil and all that fun stuff. So that is my absolute favorite Final Fantasy. If you were to ask me what my favorite Final Fantasy is, Final Fantasy II or 4, depending on which version it is you're playing. But yeah, just the characters in that one. The story, the music, just everything about it, I love it. That is like classic, like old school RPG. Love it. So much fun. I've started Star Ocean till...
Go into the inkwell says 2 things.
Yes.
1. Akira Toriyama did some art for Chrono Trigger. You know, the creator of Dragon Ball.
Really?
2. I'm streaming Earthbound on my channel actually, or will be the next time I stream.
I did know that. I did know that you were streaming it, which I'm gonna need to jump in, because again, it's like I've played it, I love it. I've never gotten all the way to the end though, so maybe I'm gonna have to jump in so I can finally see the end of Earthbound and see what's going on there. But that's really cool. I like that. All right, there we go. Good times. Good times. Let's see here. Be right back. I've got stuff to do. I'll be back later. Scoiled, good luck. Good luck with the stuff you got to do. And yeah, we will see you later. So I do appreciate it. Yeah, so I've started Star Ocean until the end of time like 40 times. I will never finish that game. I feel like there are some games like that where it's just like, you start it, you get a little bit into it, you stop, and then you go so long without playing it, you're like, well, I have to start again so I can remember the story. It's the forever cycle. Hamster Hammer says, hey, Hamster Hammer. Welcome, glad to see you here. How you doing? How's life? I feel like it has been a hot minute. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're taking care of yourself. Also, yes, he did some art for Chrono Trigger. That is super cool. Like, look at the character design and you can tell. I guess that's true. That is a really great point. See, let's see. Quinlan says, gambling is an interesting motif. Did you ever play the tabletop game Deadlands? Using magic in that is literally playing poker against the devil. I have not. That sounds really cool. I really like that. So yeah, Cloud and Shadow Dusk Production says, I wonder if I should follow this format or make the pixel stages and whatnot. It's very hard to make a tile set. It does. It can take a very long time to do that kind of stuff, but I will say it is very well worth it. The pixel characters looks off. In here? In there? Mine? Or stuff you're working on? I have to know. Star Ocean 3 is a great game, but the story and plot twist is controversial, to put it mildly. I'm gonna have to look into that, because I actually don't know the plot twist. I actually don't know what it is. But I do like me some controversy, especially when it comes to games. Okay, everybody, let's get in here and let's work on this stuff. So, so the vitality skills are all done and good to go. So now we're working on the dexterity skills. So it's Serpentine. Yes, that's the one we were working on, was Serpentine. Let's come over here to the combat event. So we're going to come over here to player bust, and this is where the player is actually taking damage. So I'm pretty sure I have copied things since then. Yes, I have. So, why Wait. Why is that not working? Oh my gosh, Leorin board crashed. Come back, Leorin board. Why would that have crashed? I am so sorry. I'm going to refund your points. I don't know why it crashed. And I don't know how I did not notice that it did. Review requests. Let's bring that up. Helium voice. We're going to reject that so you get your points back. Don't worry. You get your points back. Yeah. That is very bizarre. A freaking Leorin board. I need to replace it. I feel like it's very buggy. Very buggy. I don't do controversy. If I like something, I like it. If I don't, I don't. I mean, that's fair. That is fair. Abshammer says, added the GIF to the art channel for your perusal later. Ooh. What do we got? I feel like I gotta take a look at now. Let's see. So you added it to the art channel. Okay. Wait. That's Crater Corner. I was like, I don't see it. Crater Corner. That's right. Oh.
Longer Sickle just summoned Eclipse.
Hey, look at that. I've been summoned. I'm here. It's working. Oh my goodness, that looks so good. Holy smokes. I am in love with that. I'm in love with that art style so much. That looks so good. Thank you for sharing that. Oh my gosh. That looks amazing. Title screen for my Tiny Pixels Art RTS Kingdom Shields. That looks so good. Thank you for sharing. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that is beautiful. Like, just looking at that makes me want to play that game. That is so cool. Yeah, thank you for sharing. I do appreciate that. Let's see. Footlong Ice Cold says, sup? Hello, Footlong Ice Cold. Welcome. Glad to see you here. Hopefully you've had an absolutely fantastic week so far. The surprise of probably no one, the dinosaur era is my favorite era. So you are meaning area. Sorry. I shouldn't autocorrect when I think I should be. To no one's surprise of no one, dinosaur area is my favorite area in Earthbound. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised to hear that is your favorite area. That is good, though. That is good. And I'm glad that the dinosaur area is there for you. Okay. So let's scroll down here. I want to grab this one. There we go. Nope. I want to grab that. There we go. Now we come over here to the player bus section, and this is where the monster is doing damage. So, crap. So this is where it's actually doing damage. So I guess what I need to do, because it's in two different places. Oh, okay, so it clears the cards here. I see what's going on now. Okay, so this part loops. So these three loop, and then as soon as it's done looping, then it comes in here and does the damage. That makes so much more sense now. Okay, so we do want to just say, once we hit 0, what we can do is we can say, okay, so 704. This is the dexterity. Is this the 4th dexterity skill? Serpentine? Or is this 3? I think this is 3. I think Serpentine is 3. Come over here. Dexterity 3, Serpentine. Okay, yes. Okay, so back over here. Serpentine. I think that's how you spell serpentine. I actually cannot remember. Increase your chance of dodge incoming enemy attacks. So, if that is the case, so if serpentine is greater than or equal to 1, serpentine. Okay, so that is how I spelled it. All right. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yes, thank you, sir. How about you? My week is going well. It's been a little bit busy, a little bit hectic, but it's coming along. Tomorrow is Friday, so I'm very excited about that. Just one more day of work left. It should be a good time. I like dinosaurs. I just think they're neat. They're pretty neat. They're pretty neat. I recorded 80 plus voice lines. cranked up the speed and pitch so the units sound like minions. Each have their own accents and personalities. That is really cool. I like that. 80 voice lines that is a lot of voice lines. That is a lot. So that is not bad at all. So wait. Do you have a link to your game at all? So I would love to check it out if you do. Okay. Not yet. Okay, yeah, no worries at all. Yeah, definitely was not wanting to like make you feel pressured. I just wanted to see like if you did. Yeah, I'm very excited to see when it's all done and good to go. How are we gonna do this? So every time you upgrade, it gives you an extra 2% chance to be able to dodge the attack. We could probably do the same thing that we do here. Swift evasion, yeah? So basically just does random number. That's actually probably going to be the better way to do this. Yeah, let's do it that way, actually. It's working basically the exact same way. Yeah. Okay, so long as you have... Wait, what do we got here? Held for... Wait. Held a message for a reason. Smart detection. I'm prepping a game demo video for a publisher I pitched who is interested in seeing more. I don't know why. I don't know why it held that message for review. But that is super awesome. That is very exciting. Well, yeah, let me know how that goes, because that is a big step. Very big step. Let's see. Cloud and Shadow, Dusk Productions. What kind of tile set? Top down. I've got the same question. I'm wondering the same thing. I mean, any tile set can be a little bit of a pain to create, especially like try and keep the art style looking and feeling the exact same across the board. Yeah, I would love to know what kind of tile set you are working with. If you would like to share. No worries if you don't want to. Okay, so basically we want to say, set this to be a random number between 1 and 100, and then we'll say if 911 is less than game variable. It's not 709, so this is going to be 710. Yes. 710 times 2, because it's 2%, not 5%. Yeah, there we go. Really? Let me think about this for a second. Yes, because it's just increasing by 1 every time you level it up. Yes. Okay. Yeah. That is correct. That is correct. Okay. We don't need to erase any pictures, and then we need to jump to label, skip player damage. Yep. So then we just want to jump past all of this. We don't need to flash the screen. We don't need any of that. We just need to say we go past break the loop, past repeat above, and then we just go to label, skip player damage. There we go. There we go. Okay. Let's turn on... Should I turn on enemy spawning? Yeah, let's turn on enemy spawning to give it a taste. Okay. Well... Is there anything else I need to change? I just want to double check and make sure everything is fine. So we have if Dex 3 is greater than or equal to 1. This is Dex skill 3, Serpentine. This is Dex skill 3, right? I'm just checking one thing really quick. Yeah, so Serpentine is Dex skill 3. So long as Dex skill 3 is greater than or equal to 1, then it sets a random number between 1 and 100. And then if that random number is less than... Yeah, 710 times 2, then jump to skip player damage. Okay, that is correct. That is all correct. Okay, so let's come over here. And then if we open up the skill tree and then we want to get Serpentine, increase your chance, we're going to go up to the max, which is going to be 20%. So we have a 20% chance to not get attacked. So come over here, and then I guess we'll just hit a bunch of times. Yeah, let's just hit a bunch of times. Currently at 21, 20. Of course, I got a blackjack. So the screen shouldn't flash red if we ever don't get this right. 18. 17. 16. I just want to double check here. So 911. It's 37. And then 7, 10. It's 10 times 2, which would be 20. Okay. I'm just making sure. Okay, so let's hit 16, 15. That's now 51. Gonna be all right. One of these times it's gonna happen. 83. I mean, it is only a 20% chance. There we go. That worked. So I lost. And then the random number was a 1, which is below the 20% mark, or below the 20, which would be that 20% chance where it doesn't hit. Yeah, there we go. Happy day. You can now Serpentine, and you can have a 20% chance of dodging incoming attacks. Cool. Happy day. Happy day there. Making progress on your game. How's it going? Yes, making progress slowly but surely. It is coming along. So we are working on this skill tree right here, so you can be able to like build out your character and make them a little bit more. Because there's basically going to be 2 ways for you to build out your character in this game. Or I guess there's going to be 3 ways. There's 3 ways to build out your character in the game. So the first one is your spell book. So as you collect the D20s in the dungeon, you'll be able to eventually go back to town, and you'll be able to put these dice into a spell book, and you'll be able to increase your damage. So your pyro, your geo, your hydro, and your necro. So that is number 1, and that's just damage related, right? The next thing you'll be able to do to kind of build out your character is this perk card system. Now the perk cards, these things are temporary. So when you enter the tomb and then every floor you progress, you'll be able to pick a new perk card. And so each one of these perk cards has a buff and a debuff. So like say, for example, this one will make it so if you get a blackjack, you'll do 3 times damage. Normally you'll only do 2x damage, but with this you would be able to do 3x damage. But you do have a 2% chance of drawing an additional card when you draw cards. So maybe instead of just drawing 1 extra card, if you hit, you'll draw 2 cards, and could be a bad thing. Or Axel's Wheel of Cheese. This one will increase all of your elemental damage by 5%, but you also lose 50% of your HP. So this will be kind of a less permanent way for it to kind of mix up your runs. So as you're going along, if you ever leave the tomb for any reason, whether it's you die or you leave willingly, you lose all of your perk cards. Your perk cards are gone. But the skill tree right here, this is going to actually be permanent on your character. So if you have skill points that you can spend, you'll be able to build out your character, and you can pick any of these 4 categories you're kind of building in. So your vitality, your dexterity, your warding, and your luck. So vitality is anything really relating to like health-wise. So enduring spirit, that's just increasing your maximum HP. Second wind, it's making so healing items are more effective. This one, do 2x damage if your health is so basically if your health is below a certain threshold, you do more damage. All the way up to Reborn, which basically when you die, you will be revived once with 5% of your HP or more if you upgrade them. Then with like dexterities, which is the skill tree we're working on right now. This is like running with the punches. There are times where you're doing dex saving throws, and if you increase this, you will get a plus, like a multiplier, or not a modifier on your dice rolls. So you can, basically, so if you roll a 7 and you needed to roll if you had a difficulty rating of like a 12, if you had plus 5, you would then be able to get past it. So, and then swift evasion makes it so if you try to leave combat, so like say for example, so if we come into combat here, and let's say I didn't want to fight, you could run, but the monster will get an opportunity of attack. So if I try to run, it's a difficult rating of 10. So I rolled a 4, so I won, don't escape, and I took damage. Oops. And then if I try to run again, I rolled a 9, still not able to escape. But if I come in here and I increase roll with the punches to a +10, I just realized the game is still running in the background as I'm doing this. Crap, I need to fix that. Anyway, so then if I try to run now at this point, it would then roll the dice and it would say a 4 +10, so I rolled a 14. I'm good to go. I'm safe. And then the last skill, the one that we're working on right now that we should have just implemented fully, is Serpentine, which makes it so you have a chance to be able to dodge an enemy attack. So as you upgrade that, you go from a 0 to a 2. Oh, that's why. 0 to a 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, all the way up to a 20% chance. And yeah, so that's just another way for you to be able to like build out your character and make them a little bit more customized how you would want to play the game. So that is the progress we're making. Hey Moonman, how many plugins does the game have currently? A handful. There's a handful. So it's honestly not as many as you might think. For being an RPG Maker game that looks the way that it does, there's not as many as you might think. So this is all the plugins that we have right now. Obviously, with these two turned off, I am not using these currently right now. So there's this basic one, community basic. This one is needed to be able to adjust the resolution, because for some reason with RPG Maker MV, you can't just directly change the resolution of the game. You have to have a plugin to do it. Kind of frustrating. That's what that one's doing. This one is literally just skipping the title screen, so nothing too crazy there. And then I've got all of the Sumran Dev plugins. So we've got like the HUD Maker here. This is all HUD Maker stuff, essentially. This is the mouse script that I'm using to make it so I can better utilize all the buttons on the screen that you see. The picture easing, this is making it so I can add easing types to the pictures themselves. So like say, for example, if I want to have like bounce effects or, go for like have like slow ends, that is what this plugin does. SRD Magic, this is another Sumran Dev plugin. This one, I believe, is the one that allows me to layer pictures differently. Kind of nice to have. Let's see, pictures above, this is moving pictures to be above HUD elements. This swap pick ID, this is one that allows me to basically just swap picture IDs. Let's say, for example, if I show a picture on image layer 50, but then I wanted to then suddenly start showing above images from 51 to 59, so I need it to be image layer 60, I could just go in and say, hey, show a new picture that is layer 60, or with this plugin, all I literally have to do is I just say, hey, swap picture 50 with 60, and then it just swaps it to being image layer 60. Kind of ridiculous if you're not familiar with RPG Maker or other engines, but for RPG Maker, it is a lifesaver. The full keyboard mapper. This is one that I wrote myself to be able to allow me to have like full control of the keyboard. There is another plugin out there that is available. It's not available for commercial use, or you have to like pay for it. So I was like, I'll write my own. So I wrote my own so that I can use all the keys on the keyboard. So I can have like WASD movement. You can type your name, all that fun stuff. So let's see, this one disables the fast forward. So in RPG Maker, if you like press and hold the Z key, it will run the game at 2x speed. It's mostly useful for testing purposes, but it's also, if you click and hold, it will do that. And so, well, given the fact that this game, I'm interacting with menus where I have to click and hold things, it was speeding the game up, and so it was just doing weird things. So that's why I have that. I'll probably get rid of this plugin once the game is finished, because the fast forward does not work on like the actual finished game. So I'll probably get rid of it because I won't need it when the game is actually finished. Persistent data is one that I have turned off. I will be turning this back on, but persistent data is actually a crazy plugin. This allows you to have switches and variables that are persistent across save files. So if you start a game, right, and you save your game on save file 1, with this plugin, you can say, hey, anything that happens on variable 80, let's say in save file 1, if you then go to save file 2, that variable will be the exact same in save file 2. So it's kind of some cool ways that if you wanted to make some weird and interesting puzzles where you had to essentially utilize 2 save files in a game, what you could do is you could say, hey, on save file 1, you go and flip a switch. Let's say, for example, when you flip the switch, your party dies. And so then you would have to go start a new game, get back to that point, but then because they flipped the switch, you could say, hey, this switch was flipped in save file 1, now in save file 2, you're going and that switch has already been flipped, and so you can now go past the point where save file 1 flipped the switch. Really crazy and cool stuff. So that's what that plugin is doing right there. And then the other ones is custom anchor points. This is another one. This is one that I wrote. Basically makes it so in RPG Maker, you have 2 anchor points, right? So you've got the top left and you've got the center origin, basically. So you can rotate images either around the center point or from the top left point. But with this plugin, I can basically create new anchor points for pictures. And so I can say, hey, the anchor point is going to be, well, 0.92 and 0.5. So essentially I can say, hey, I want the anchor point or the origin point of the picture to be the bottom right corner or the center right corner and stuff like that. So very useful stuff. And then the last one is another plugin that I wrote, which is the matching game plugin, which basically this plugin, all it's handling is the recursion of the popper minigame that I created. So if I come over here and I go find, wait, I need to turn off the monsters or otherwise this is going to take forever. Let's come in here. Let's turn the monsters off. Only item spawns now. We come over here and we go over to, I'm guessing we're going to need to go over here. There we go. So it's just this little popper minigame that I made. So basically, for anyone who is unfamiliar with recursion, essentially the way that it works is, say for example, if I were to click this one right here, it needs to check its neighbors to see if any of them are a matching color. And then at that point, once it identifies any of its neighbors, if they are matching color, it then needs to check their neighbors if they have a matching color. And then it needs to check their neighbors if they have a matching color. So instead of eventing it and hard coding and all that stuff, I just went and wrote the plugin, handled the recursion, and yes, now you can click on a thing and it will check all of its neighbors to see if they have any matching connections with each other. So it can create like these weird, snake-like connections, and it'll, hit every single one of those. So yeah. Anyways, those are all the plugins that I currently have in the game. I may add more as time goes on, as needs arise, but yeah. Good times. Good times. Let's see here. Skill tree looks great. Thank you, Hamster Hammer. I appreciate that. Okay. Some ran dev for the win. It is true. Some ran dev makes some of the greatest plugins. I love them all. I love them all. I got a skill tree plugin for Game Maker, and it's a bit of programming, but overall it looks and feels great for the unit type. I like that. I like that. Yeah. Skill trees are a lot of fun to just like make your game feel a lot more customizable, but also just like, I don't know. I feel like as a player, it's very much appreciated because you can make your character feel more like how you want to play the game. So I don't know. I like it. Some ran dev at Hamster Hammer, MV or MZ. Oh wait, Game Maker. Of course you did, Lamau. You got it. Sometimes you got to write your own plugins. Look at Writer Boy over here writing his own. Hey, sometimes you gotta. Sometimes you gotta. What is that thing? Nothing, Bobby. You saw nothing. Nothing happened. Nothing at all. How you doing, Bobby? Welcome. Glad to see you here. Let's see. Over on YouTube, we got Nirwanda says, "Are you winning, son?" Sometimes. Other times, not so much. Good work. This is all super impressive. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. It has been
a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. I've put Lynn top down in RPG Maker MV. Ooh, and that is very impressive then. Also back. I'm glad you're back. Glad you're back.
Bobby 3000.
Oh my goodness, that is holy smokes.
What is happening? There's so much happening.
3453 just summoned Eclipse Chan. Bobby 3453 just summoned Moonchan.
Oh my gosh.
Bobby 3453
yeah, which one are we on?
Wants Moonman to do 10 chest benders.
Okay, chest benders. Holy smokes.
Bobby 3400.
Welcome, Bobby. I'm glad to see you're here.
Moonman to do 10 bicep curls.
I can do that. I can do that. And then, of course, the beautiful
Bobby
stretch.
3453 just redeemed Street EH.
Absolutely, we can do the trifecta.
Bobby
Absolutely.
3453 says, "Hi, by the way."
Hello, welcome. Glad to see you here, Bobby. And I don't know, did it skip over this? I don't know if it did. But Ruts Cracker, welcome. Glad to see you here, and thank you for the follow. I do appreciate that. So thank you. Let's see. Ruts Cracker says, "Are all the animals at the bottom YouTube viewers?" No. So all of the chickens down at the bottom.
For the follow. Bobby 3453.
Bobby, thank you so much for the refollow. I do appreciate that. So all of the chickens down here at the bottom, those are actually the my gosh, what's the term? The Twitch subscribers. So if you're a subscriber on Twitch, then you will become a chicken. So the reason why I don't have this being just like anybody who's watching or whatever it is on any of the platforms is I'm still, I at one point had a plugin working to be able to make it so it could connect to the API and get some information from Twitch. But as of right now, it is all manually added. So I'm only adding people who are subscribed on Twitch. So one day I would like to make it so that it's basically anyone who is viewing on Twitch and YouTube can be down here at the bottom. But as of right now, it's just if you are a subscriber on Twitch, then you get your own chicken. So yeah, good times, good times. I added 3 screenshots for the skill tray I currently have done. Still have 2 units left to do. To the art channel. Yes, absolutely. I will be taking a look there. I unsubbed from everyone today to save money, except from you. Bobby, you're too kind. You're too kind, and I appreciate that. Oh, gotcha. You chill. I'm a B here. I like streamers who actually read comments. I do try and keep up on chat. I'm sure that we will have some people in the chat tell you that I do not keep up on chat. But I'm like, what's the point of streaming, like anything in general? But like, what's the point in streaming if you're not going to interact with people and respond to comments and like have a back and forth? So yeah, so I do try and make sure to keep up on top of any and every comment, anything that people share, yeah. So long as nothing crazy happens, I will always be like that. So I do appreciate you being here, and yeah, we try and be chill. Sometimes it gets a little bit crazy and out of hand, but I do appreciate the follow, and I appreciate you chatting. So thank you. Money. Yeah, maybe money. I have a game idea. Hold on, let me type. I would love to hear it. Let's see, really quickly over on YouTube. Let's see here. Yeah, so top down, RPG Maker MV also back. Let's see, as in earlier in what I'm working on. Gotcha. If I make them too detailed, it will make the later work hellish. That is true. Yes, if you are making your own art, make sure to not go too crazy unless you're going to want to spend a whole bunch of time making art, because again, like whatever tier you make it at, that's what you got to stick with, and it can be kind of crazy. Let's see. Yeah, make them too detailed. Since it's a game with a company full of unique employees as allies. Ooh, that would be really cool. Oh yeah, I've done a few things for that. You can try Yan flies that automatically adjust the resolution on any platform. Really? I'm gonna have to check that out. Yeah, that is like the one thing that I find pretty annoying with that plugin to be able to adjust the resolution, is the fact that you have to like set it, and then you have to like set it and forget it essentially. So I don't know. Maybe I'll give it a try. Maybe I'll check out Yanfly's plugin, or maybe I'll ask some rand dev to make a plugin to adjust resolution. Maybe. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Game Maker. Respond to my DMs. Reminder. That is true. I do need to do that, Bobby. Thank you for the reminder. I will do that before the next stream. I promise. 100%. I promise. Anyways, continuing on, if I make the pixel characters too simple, it kind of breaks immersion. True. Yeah, there's a fine line you gotta reach between too much detail, where it's just like you're gonna be spending way too much time, creating more and more assets, versus, if you go too under detailed, then it just kind of, yeah, that immersion kind of breaks. So yeah, there's like that fine line that you gotta strike. I know that I'm finding it a lot with this game, where it's like, for some things, I go pretty simple, and then other things, I go a little bit too crazy, and then I'm like, well, crap. Now I need to go back and update the simple thing. A double blackjack. And then I get a blackjack. All right, that's fair. He gets 2 blackjacks, I get a blackjack, I'm all right with it. Yeah, so some of the things, it's like I go a little bit too much detailed on, a little too detailed on, and then I'm like, crap, I've got to update everything else to be more detailed. So, yeah. Good times. It's good times. I washed my hands of RPG Maker when they outright said they weren't going to add event-specific variables. I may need you to explain a little bit more. Is there something that I'm missing that I wish that I had? I almost feel like you're going to explain what you mean, and then I'm going to be like, you're right, I wish that... Actually, no. There is one thing that I do wish that they had when it comes to variables and events. I don't know what it is. I wish they made it so when you come over here to set the page condition for a variable, that you didn't have to default to only being greater than or equal to a number. I wish you had more customization in the page condition. Because like only 2 switches, a variable, and then like the self switch and item and actor is it's so restrictive. I wish they had more. I wish. But anyway, yeah, I'm not quite sure what you mean that they weren't going to add event specific variable. Oh, you mean almost kind of like a self switch, yeah? Yeah, that too. They had an RM2K3. They did. But removed it later ones for no reason. Yeah, I honestly do not understand why they got rid of that. But are you meaning like self variables? So there's like switches that you could create specifically for that event is what I'm assuming you're meaning. Yeah, that one is pretty frustrating. I don't understand why there's not some kind of like event variable. Yes, self variables, there's plugins, but they are really hacky. Yeah, I have used self variables before, like the self variable plugins, and you're right, they are very hacky. Like they get the job done, but they're not good. They are not good at all. I mean, like you could utilize a bit of like JavaScript and go in like do some things, but it's not the same. It's just not the same. It would be very nice if they did do self variables though. That would be really nice. Yeah, the fact that they've like outright said they're not, because like my next thing was gonna be I was gonna be like, maybe they will eventually, but if they've outright said like, nope, we're not going to. There's always no way to change. There's also no way to change the event internal order, which though an extreme edge case is a problem if you need to call specific events. Oh, so you're meaning like event IDs? For example, chase scene in Ao Oni likely rely on the Oni being event X on every map. True. Yes, yeah. If you are relying on event IDs, yeah, that can be extremely. Maybe it's because I've been using RPG Maker for so long. There's so many things like when I stop and think about it, I'm like, this is the dumbest way they could be doing this. Why do they do it this way? And it's mostly just because it's like, well, that's how they've always done it, so they have never changed it. But it's because like I've gotten so used to the way they do things that I'm just kind of like, yeah, that's just how it is. But then when I sit there and think about it, I'm like, yeah, that is really stupid. Yeah, the fact that you cannot change the ID of an event is really dumb, which sucks because there's a lot of times where I come in here and I have to like rely specifically on, you know, like there's so much JavaScript that I use, and it all has to be very specific things, especially for like self switches. Like I have to come in here and I have to say, hey, I'm setting a self switch on map 9 for event 4, set A to true. But if I were to make any change ever, or like if for some reason that event, if I were to like get rid of it or adjust it, like I would have to come in here and adjust the event ID here to make sure that it's referencing that correct event, or else it just breaks. And it's, yeah, no bueno at all. So it would be nice if they were to like fix a few of those things. See, Scoiled is back. Welcome back, Scoiled. Welcome back. Glad to see you here. Hopefully you're having an absolutely fantastic time. Hopefully things went well for you. Okay, so I think the only other thing that I've now been thinking about that we might want to actually do, how does it describe this skill? Let me just go back and visit it. Okay, so skill number 3, Serpentine. Increase your chance to dodge incoming enemy attacks. Yeah, okay, here's what we're gonna do. I just realized, so basically here's what I'm realizing. So we have this where you can dodge, right? So here's the Serpentine. But I realize that if you try to run and you do the saving throw, if you get attacked, we probably also want to take into consideration that if the monster's going to attack you, you have Serpentine, so you should be able to dodge that attack. So, play it out. Increase/decrease roll. Reduce dex save throwing with perk. Failed save throw. Turn on player... Oh! Turns on player bust. Really? Turns on 155. Over here on 155. Huh. Well, never mind. We don't have to add that. It technically is already in there. Well, never mind. That's good to go. That is good to go. Yeah, so since it's utilizing that exact same event page already, it is already going to be utilizing the Serpentine. So, on that note, we should be able to come in here and come up here and go to Dexterity skill tree. Serpentine. I realize that's in the wrong order. Serpentine. Good to go. Awesome. Happy. Okay, so the next one is Fortune's Favor. Down here, dexterity skills. So Fortune's Favor. This one, rifle through the pockets of your dead enemies for a chance to find gold. Yes. So. How is this all worded, though, in the game? That's what I'm not 100% sure on. Oh, let's see. Rutscracker says, I have this game idea called Gullet Weller, where you get swallowed by a giant monster and you have to survive in its stomach from what it swallows. Like animals and food and stuff. I also made the system based on matches. It swallows matches, and the more matches you have, the bigger things you can cook or purify. Don't ask why there are so many matches to swallow. There's a bunch of stuff to kill you, like stomach acid and things you swallow. It's things it swallows, and it's kind of morbid. Sometimes, like if you're starving, you can start eating the skin of its stomach, and you get sick, but you're not hungry anymore. Stuff like that. It's mainly luck based, and there's a lot to it, but there is a strategy involved. Tell me all your thoughts. So, okay, so. Correct me if I'm wrong here. So as you're explaining this, what I'm envisioning in my head is essentially like a Tetris-esque game. Would I be incorrect in that? So basically, as it's eating things, stuff drops down from the top of the screen. And this is just like what came to mind. If this is more of like a survival crafting kind of game, then that's a completely different story. But for some reason, like what's coming to my mind, because you say, let's see. Swallows, like animals and food stuff, and a major system to make matches. More matches, the bigger cook. Okay, so maybe I just inserted this in my own mind as I was reading it. But basically, as I was reading it in my own mind, I was imagining this being like a Tetris kind of game. So it's like as the giant is like swallowing things, stuff's like coming down from the top of the screen, and you're like creating matches. But it sounds like I am way off. It's more survival, kind of like Oregon Trail. Gotcha. Okay. I think that sounds like an absolute blast. I think that sounds super cool. Yeah, where it's like basically like the stomach acid. Yeah, it's basically like a constant threat that you could somehow get past by like, researching, upgrading things, be able to get to the point where it's like, oh, like I can walk over the stomach acid, with like some kind of like special clothing and stuff like that. But then it's like you have to survive based on what the giant swallows, because it's like that's the only thing that is available. But then again, like you said, like if you really needed to, you could essentially harvest the stomach lining to be able to eat, but it would make you sick, that kind of a thing. Oh, you're on that? Okay, all right, I will wait. Sounds unique and fun. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see, over on YouTube, let's see, yeah, they do self-variables. There's also no way to change the event internal order, for example. There's another thing, JavaScript. I spent a long time learning Ruby, and suddenly JavaScript. True. Yeah, and so here's my thing personally. I never fully learned Ruby. I got to the point where I could edit Ruby. That was it. I could not write in Ruby at all to save my life, but I could edit Ruby. That's where I got to. But then JavaScript, I only just started learning JavaScript, maybe like actually taking it seriously, probably about a year ago now. Like I knew that it was available, but JavaScript just right over my head. Could not figure it out for the life of me. Funny enough, even though I went to school to become a web developer, and I dropped out of school because of JavaScript. I hated it so much that I dropped out of college because I was like, screw JavaScript, I'm out of here. I loved HTML, I loved CSS, and then for some reason I got to JavaScript and I was like, nope, not gonna happen. And now here I am making a game that relies so very heavily on JavaScript. But all that to say, yeah, it is kind of weird to go from Ruby to then JavaScript. But I will also say this. For me, now that I've gotten to the point where I'm getting more comfortable with it, it is definitely a huge improvement. But that does suck that you didn't have to spend so much long learning Ruby to then all of a sudden have it switch and be like, oh yeah, now it's just JavaScript now. I've mild brain damage, so learning new things is a slow process. Making sudden changes like that, all the more frustrating. True.
Eclipse Chan.
True. Yes, yeah, that kind of stuff, that is very frustrating to have learned Ruby for so long to then have to switch suddenly. That, yeah, 100%. Because, yeah, it essentially does kind of lock it behind a new wall of learning where it's like, if you already knew Ruby and you could do stuff like more advanced in RPG Maker XP, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, and also I guess VX and VX Ace, but then all of a sudden now it's like, okay, now you have to learn JavaScript if you want to still do those advanced things. That is very difficult. See, and I wouldn't even say that I have any kind of like brain damage at all. I'm just really slow at learning that kind of stuff. So for me, I'm just like, this is an absolute nightmare. So yeah, not great. Not great if Ruby was kind of where you were learning. Okay, I'm back. An ad popped up as soon as you started talking about Tetris. Anyway, it's like a survival game. No movie or anything. It's like 60 seconds, I think it's called, where you can't move and stay in one place and choices pop up like Oregon Trail. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, so when you said it was more of like a survival game, that's where I kind of like, my brain then also kind of started thinking, I was like, okay, so is it more almost kind of like a Terraria kind of thing, or something like that? But yeah, no, I think that sounds like a lot of fun. Like I said, maybe a little morbid, but I think it's also kind of interesting to like, the only thing, like, you have to rely on what the giant is eating. So yeah, I think that'd be a lot of fun. Absolutely. Hey, Moochan. But yeah, 100%. I would say, I think that sounds like a lot of fun. Definitely should at least give it a try. At least try to make it and just kind of see how it turns out. Because here's the thing, you're never really going to know what it's going to be like until you actually give it a try to actually try and make it. Because you can have concepts in your head, you can try and like work things out on paper and kind of be like, well, this is how it would work. But until you actually make a concept and like make it playable, it is going to be kind of hard to know like if it's going to be something that would be fun or would be possible to make or anything like that. So I would say, if you can, pursue it in some way, shape, or form, even if you just get like a bare bones mock-up of what it could or should be, and then being like, okay, like this is what it could be, and then like go building off of there. So yeah, 100%, I would say you definitely should give it a shot. Give it a shot, try and give it a make, and yeah, see what happens. The only way you'll know. Any way you will know. The only way you'll know. Okay, so here in the skill tree, next one, yes, is Fortune's Favor. So, rifle through the pockets of your dead enemies for a chance to find gold. Gold find rate, 0% to 5%. So, yeah. I believe as of right now, the enemies, they do drop 0 gold. Maybe what we'll do is the monsters have gold, but they will only drop it once you do that. Once you have that skill. Because yeah, originally I was not even planning on having gold in the game, and then eventually we did add gold because we have in the town. Come over here. Put the player there. So in the town, there are vendors in the town. So, I mean, the town wasn't even originally going to be in the game either. Yeah, so basically the idea is with the vendors, you'll be able to, like, say, for example, go to buy and sell, and you'll be able to buy and sell these dice. And so we will need a way for you to be able to get money. And so originally I was thinking, okay, well, basically what we'll want to do there is you'll be able to sell the dice you collect to get money. And that was basically going to be the only way. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to make it so you can defeat monsters. You can get money by defeating those monsters. But it is going to be rare. It is going to be a rare thing for you to be able to find those, to find that money. So, with that in mind, I can't wait till this game is done. Just so many little systems that I'm just like, I'm so happy with how this, like, so much of this turned out, you know? Hey, PP. Okay. Let's upgrade you. Can't upgrade you anymore. And let's upgrade you. Yeah, because then general ideas, you can come back over here, go to the buy/sell, and you can be like, all right, I don't need these dice anymore. Let's just get rid of those. Yeah, there we go. Head north to the tomb. That guy. And then when you're in here, I've got 0 dice because I've already gotten rid of them all, but I am doing freaking 7 pyro damage. That's gonna be crazy stuff. Come in here. Let's lock. This guy has met his match. Oh, this is going to do a lot of damage. Stand. Of course, he got a 19 as well. All right, this is going to be odds. Yeah. Take that, Danithar. Not that he wasn't going to die in one hit anyway. He had 1 HP, but still. Okay, so. Oh, I also have 0 items. That's good times. I forgot that's the thing. That is the thing because I didn't spawn in the thing. Yeah. Anyways, now we come back over here. We go through here, interact with here, put that on there, and then we go. And go. Okay. Yeah. So we were working on Fortune's Favor. That is right. Fortune's Favor, to be able to rifle through the pockets of the dead enemies and find gold. A chance to find gold. For example, a wounded wolf drops down the throat. Do you approach it? It may attack you, or you could cook it. But that would take many matches. But if you leave it be, it will rot, and you may get sick. What do you do? I think that's a lot of fun. I think it's a lot of fun to have those kind of just choice and mechanics where, yeah, you basically have to choose, what are you gonna do? And the other thing too is it's maybe the giant swallowed a sword or something like that, and so it increases your chance to be able to fight and get past that wolf with less of a chance of getting attacked. But seriously, what would you do? Oh, what would I do? Let's see. If I had been swallowed by a giant, and then that giant swallowed a whole wolf, I feel like I would probably approach it as soon as possible. Yeah, that's probably what I would do. I would probably try to approach it and kill it as soon as possible. That's what I would do. All right, just for simplicity's sake, let's just make all the monsters have 1 gold. This is... Let's do this. We are going to go to Documents, GitHub, Tomb of Vercilias, Data, Enemies, enemies.json. Okay, so essentially what we can do is we can find gold. We got gold right here. Why did it not save? There we go. Okay, now as you can see, gold 1 there. So, I think what we can do, we can say gold 0 should be able to find gold 0 and replace with gold 1. Ah, look at that. There we go. There we go. Okay, so that should, if we then save that here and we open up the database, should then have... Okay, so then we need to cancel that. Then we need to close you, and then reopen. Now, go in the database again, go to enemies, and then all of these guys should have... Okay, one of them is missing 1 gold. We'll just set you to be 1. Everybody else should have 1 gold all the way through to the rest of the enemies there, which they do. Awesome. Okay, save that. Now, let's go to the tomb. Come over to... I guess since it's percentage based, we'll probably just go in here and grab this same... Yeah, let's just grab this same thing here. Then on victory, So dead monster. So this is everything that happens when the monster dies. Heal the player with perk cards. Item drops. Healing player with skills. I just go right here. 710, so we want to find 711. Nope, so 711 is greater than or equal to 1. Going to be skill 4. What was it called again? It was Fortune's Favor. Here. Boarding skills, so number 4. Fortune's Favor. Okay. Have a chance to find gold as you rifle through hidden pockets. Set a random number between 1 and 100. And then we will just say 911 is less than 711 times 5, because we're dealing with in 5%. We don't want to skip the player damage. Essentially, we just want to add the gold. What's the story of this game, by the way? Oh, yes. So basically, general idea. I guess there are quite a few new people here tonight. I should probably explain the game. So yeah, so this is a game that I'm making called Tomb of Vercilias. Essentially, the general idea of the game is the Mage Vercilias used to be the right-hand mage of the king, but the king found out that he was researching dark magic, and he was not a fan of that. So he ordered for the arrest of his mage Vercilias. And when Vercilias heard about this, obviously not wanting to be arrested, he put a curse on his wizard's tower to make it so it's ever shifting and changing to create a unnavigable labyrinth. Which, the King's Guard showed up to go and arrest Vercilias, and they were not able to ever get to Vercilias because it was an unnavigable labyrinth. So they're like, well, we cannot get to him. Not quite sure what to do. And so no one has ever been able to get to Vercilias, but people have also never seen Vercilias come out of his tower. So everyone just assumes that Vercilias accidentally trapped himself in his own tower, and he has died in there, and he's long gone. It's been years now, and he has never been seen. But the king is like, no, until I actually see him, dead or alive, I'm going to assume he is still in there, researching dark magic, gaining power, and all that fun stuff. So the king has put a bounty out on Vercilias' head, and essentially is just, hey, whoever can get to Vercilias and bring him to me, dead or alive, will get unimaginable wealth. So you are one of many adventurers who is braving Vercilius' tower to try and eventually get to Vercilius and bring him out dead or alive. So yeah, so you're just playing as one of those adventurers, and yeah, so your goal in the game is to go and try and get to the top of the tower to get Vercilius and bring him out dead or alive. That is the general story. There will be a lot more to it. There's a whole town with NPCs with backstories and quest lines and all that stuff that we'll be implementing eventually. And there's also a whole bunch of like end game story that will expand on a whole bunch of stuff. Maybe a few twists and turns that hopefully will be kind of unseen and unexpected. Okay, it's midnight. I'm gonna go to bed and watch out for the clown in the corner. You can't see. He only moves when you blink. Please. Please no, Rustcracker. But I appreciate that. Hopefully you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your evening. And yeah, we'll hopefully see you on a future stream. So thank you. This story sounds so thorough. One could say it might have been based on real circumstances. Maybe I was the adventurer who eventually brought Vercilius to justice. Or maybe I am Vercilius. Who knows? Always exciting. I'm so excited to play. I'm glad you're excited, Scoiled. I'm excited to have it done so people can actually finally play it. It's gonna happen. But yeah, I'm like, if there was one thing that I could just like snap my fingers and have happen, it would be that just the game is done. I would be very happy about that. So there we go. Fortune's Favor, 1 of 100. That times. I cannot remember the exact code, so I'm going to come in here, and we're just going to say, not that one. Not that. It is This right here. Let's just grab... Okay, so it's XP. Because I'm pretty sure then, so we just need to copy that and come over, back over here to defeated. What the... I don't know why the alerts aren't playing very well. But hello, I'm a chicken. Bok bok bok. Bok bok. Bok 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 bok. That one was a little bit drawn out. But we got to it in the end. Okay, so long as you actually are greater than random variable, then we're going to say script.
Goyle says, Skull turn Moon Man into fried chicken.
Yeah, fried chicken. Fried chicken. I like it. Thank you, Skull. Thank you. We want to set variable. Do we have a variable that's tracking the player's gold, or are we using just the gold in the game? Gold. Oh. I'm gonna have to take that into consideration. Okay, perk, okay, gold. Okay, I'm pretty sure then that we're just utilizing the main, it's gotta be just the main gold, yeah? Like, I don't have a variable that's doing that, it's just adding to the gold. Let me just double check really quickly. If we come over here, Mage's Guild, and go to buy and sell. Oh. Oh. It's magic, you know. Okay, so I've got to have something that's showing the gold. Yeah? I don't know where that something would be, though. But something, somewhere, is adding gold. So if we're here in the town, I called it currency. I called it currency and then in parentheses, coin. All right. So smart. Gold. We're calling it gold. Why would I call it currency and then parentheses, coin? It's gold. It's gold, everybody. There we go. That is better. Now, let's go back over here. The tomb. Actually, let's go here. So, the monster is defeated. We want to say set variable 3 be equal to game variables dot value 3 plus data enemies. Don't want, yeah, data enemies 94, yes, and then dot, pretty sure it's gonna be dot gold. Pretty sure. Not 100% sure, pretty sure. But I also am now realizing control variables, gold. We have a perk, gold gain percentage. Which makes sense. I do want to have some ways to increase the amount of gold you're getting. Okay, okay, so that's variable 670. Oh. Okay. But this is not actually... Yeah, so this is set variable 50, be math ceiling 50 plus 51 plus... Okay. That's all that. None of that matter. We're just going to say, if you are in this range, then we're going to say set variable 3 to be equal to variable 3 plus the current room monster's gold. Makes sense. And then we need to increase it by the variable 671, which is the perk gold percentage. Set it to 3 plus gold. And we want to say how many already? Yeah, that's you. That's you. Okay, so yeah, so we want to say gold plus this. Don't fail me now, brain. Okay, so it's... We're setting the gold to equal gold plus this gold. That's just the base amount. Say, for example, it'd be 1 gold plus whatever the monster's gold times game variables value. What was again 697? 671 times 671 divided by 100. Takes this, converts it to a percentage. Think. So gold times 671, which is the perk percentage, divided by 100. I think. See what happens. I'm gonna take that, and we're just gonna say where would you be? If the button, let's just say if button M is pressed. Let's just see what happens. If I press M, it should increase my gold by whatever monster is currently on the screen that I'm in the room with. Some monsters to spawn. Go. Two blackjacks. All right. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to add, just for kicks and giggles, let's create a text box here. You're just going to be game variables dot value. Okay, that is the goal that we currently have. Is 0. Now, if I press M, I need to add a weight. That's just increasing the gold. On the bright side, though, at least I know that it's working. But I do need to add up a little bit slower than that. Let's wait for like 5 frames so I can just press it and yeah. So, we do this. Enter combat. Should be able to, if I press M, we get 1 gold. That's correct. Go. So every time I press it, I get 1 gold. Now, if we say, I forgot one more thing. One more thing. So we need to say, you are math dot ceiling. Okay. I wanted to round up based on that percentage. So even if you're only increasing the percentage by like 5%, the enemy only is giving you 1 gold, it would have rounded down, which is not what we want to see. Okay, so we press M. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if we even just add a single percentage to 671, it should increase it by 2. That's just 1%, just 1% gold gain. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, well, what if we set you to be 100? That should give us 2 gold. Because if we're increasing it by 100%, okay, so that is increasing by 2. So that's good. What if we set this to be 10? It should still increase by 2. Even when we can't chat, I enjoy hearing you talking about code and testing stuff. I'm glad that you do. I'm glad that you do, Scoiled. That makes me happy. So why? Yeah, because I want it to be that even if this is set to like 5%, it should still technically increase it by at least 2. It should be rounding up. Wait, is that a new monster? I missed many things. No, I mean, it is newer. I think he's been in the game for about a month now. But it is a newer monster. It is a newer monster. Yeah, so there's actually a handful of new monsters that are in the game now. So I think we've got 7 now. Got this little slime here. Actually, if we've come over here, images, pictures, monsters. Yeah, so we've got the gargoyle. This is one of the newer monsters. And the gargoyle, so each one of the monsters, I'm trying to remember if you would have been here when I was kind of going over the monsters. Yeah, so basically the way that it's working is the monsters will all have a elemental variant. So you'll have like the default gargoyle, right? So this is just like a stone gargoyle, whatever. But then there's also the pyro gargoyle, the geo gargoyle, the hydro gargoyle, and the necro gargoyle. And it's going to be the same way with all of the different enemies. So you'd have like a normal slime, pyro slime, geo slime, hydro slime, necro slime, kind of a thing. And then we've got the elemental that has all the different ones. We've got, I'm trying to remember what I called this guy. Yeah. So there's a handful of them, and not all of them are animated. But yeah, so we've got, how many monsters do we have now then? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so we've got 7 monsters right now. Although I'm kind of thinking about removing this rat. I don't know what it is about the rat. I'm not super satisfied with how it turned out. Like, it's fine. I don't know, I just like, when I look at this rat compared to like this guy, he's just like, look, he looks, I don't know what it is that I'm not a fan of with the rat. There's something with the rat that I'm just like, So anyway, yeah, but compared to like this guy and this freaking slime, I think I called him the Glob, or this Stone Sentinel. There's something about the rat that I'm just kind of like, nah, that just doesn't feel right. But yeah, so there's all the monsters that we currently have. I need to add many more. I want to have several dozen, if not like I kind of want to have like about 100 monsters in this game. So I do have a lot of work to do to get to that point. But yeah, so it's the start. It's the start anyway. Okay, so let's give this a shot. If I press M, it adds 1. Now if I do 671, we just set this to 1%. It should increase it by 2. Okay, it does. Perfect. And that should be the case all the way up. Even if I go all the way up to like 80%, it should still increase it just by 2. Because it's 1 plus 80%, which is 2. There we go. Then if I go to 101%, actually let's try with 100% one more time. Yeah, so we go 9, 11. Then if we say 101%, it should go up by 3 now. So 11, go up to 14, 17. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Yeah, and I'm probably never going to have it be to where like you can get exactly 100% more gold. But the idea is like there will be different perks that you could get to be able to get. I don't think increase the chances of enemies dropping valuables upon death. Increase the amount of gold you found on slain enemies. Okay, so then we also have to take that into consideration. Ooh. Holy, those are cool. Let's see, I only remember the skull head and the slime you're testing. Gotcha. Yeah, it's, I have moved on since then. I probably am, I'm definitely going to be bringing back the skull, because I do like the floating skull. I just need to redo it now one more time to be in this same art style. I think I've found an art style that I like with the monsters, where it's like they're kind of cartoony looking, but they're also kind of like a little bit more serious looking. I think that's actually what I'm not a huge fan of with the rat. I think I went just a little bit too cartoony looking with the rat. So anyway, yeah, so I definitely am going to be bringing the skull back. I'm not quite sure on the slime. I mean, I guess I technically have a slime back in here. So yeah. So the skull I do want to redo again, but yeah. These monsters look so cool and retro. Damn. I appreciate that skull. Thank you. I love the skill tree screen. Thank you. It took a little bit to get this feeling just right. These cartoony looking, but serious monster design are fun to look and wants to see more. Yeah, and that's the thing too, is it's like, I want this to be a kind of serious game, but I also kind of want it to be like a little goofy as well. So I'm like, I don't need it to be like a serious dark, like I don't need it to be like, you know, Diablo feeling or something like that. Like I'm not going for like a rated M kind of feel, you know? So yeah, so I don't think I need them to be like super serious and like super dark and terrifying looking. So that's where I'm kind of like, you know what, I'm all right to do with like a slight cartoon look without going too cartoon. Yeah. Okay, so that's where I'm kind of now like, okay. I guess technically what we need to do now is I'll need to take this exact same code here. And when it says plus here, we're going to say, so yeah, so plus the gold times, it's not 671. 671 is the perk gold gain. Now we need to go over here, and we're going to go to luck 5? I don't know. Let's see. Jackpot. Find hidden chests with gold. Increase the chance okay. Increase the amount of gold you found on slain enemies. Flying dark magic books with scary eyes and fang enemy. Just saying. I like that. I like that idea. So I actually do have a full list of enemies that I've kind of already thought about. So I've mapped out like descriptions and names for the monsters, and I just need to actually go through. So yeah, so we've got Gargoyle, Slime, Elemental, Rubble Golem, Glob, Iron Sentinel, and then a Tuskrat. So here's just kind of like the description of like what they're gonna look like. So yeah, so basically at this point I have 53 monsters that I've kind of like brainstormed on like what we're going to do. So I think one of these should actually be let's see, Winged Eye, Iron Crab, Plate Spectre. I feel like one of these is a book. There we go. Cursed Tome, a tattered brown book that is open. So yeah, so flying dark magic books with scary eyes and fangs. So I could add the eyes and the fangs. But yeah, so I did have an idea to already add the Cursed Tome to the game, which is essentially a flying dark magic book. But yeah, I like the idea of adding like eyes and a mouth. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, 100%. I am down for that. And so there's still quite a few that I need to make. Because yeah, it's like I've these are all the ones that I've done. So these are the ones that I actually have art for. And then I've got all these guys that I still need to make the art for, get them in the game, balance them. Yeah. Nice, sounds cool and amazing. Squad, I appreciate that. Thank you. It's just a matter of time. You know, I just need to take the time, make them all, get them added to the game, kind of a thing. You know, they'll get there. They'll get there eventually. Okay, so this increases the amount of gold found on slain enemies. So this is Luck Skill 2. Okay, so that means over here, it's Luck Skill 2, which is 724. So with this one, I'd say 724. Okay. That's actually not. That's not how I want to do that. At that point, you would have a separate skill that would add to your gold found, and then you could have a separate perk you could add to your gold found. And so even if the perk is adding like 5% and the skill is adding 5%, it is now rounding up to adding. Yeah, okay. So that's not quite what I want then. Where do I need to put the... I think we need to say... Yeah, if we're rounding up... So if a monster is only giving you 1 gold, and you have a 5... and then it's going to increase that by 5%. Yes, I need this to be cumulative, not separate. Math ceiling... So when I say times yes, okay, so I need to grab this. Let me delete all of this. That is essentially the math ceiling. So we're going to say 671 plus 724 divided by 100. Okay, that should be all that I need. So then, if I come in here, should be able to say, we press M, should add 1 gold. It does. And then if we say Was it 671? So gold gain, we set you up to 50%. It should give us 2. Nope. Because that's wrong. That's wrong. I'm not wanting to spoil anything, but I kept imagining about there is a fake Vercilias monster lurking in the tomb. Ooh. That would be kind of an interesting twist. Have like a fake Vercilias that you find somewhere in the tomb, and you defeat him, and it's like, I was not the real Vercilias. And then you gotta keep going. Kind of fun. Be a good time. Wait, what? So it's variable, so 671 plus. Oh, wait. Yes, so I need these to be combined together. There we go. Okay. Blasted freaking parentheses. Now, if I press 1, we should get 1 gold. Or if I press M, we should get 1 gold. We go to 671. And if we set this to be 50, it should still give us 2. Okay, there we go. And then if we set the luck 2 be 1, we should still only get 2, so it should get us up to 5. Okay. And then if we set you to be 50, you should still just be 2, because now we're at 100%. There we go. But as soon as this crosses the threshold and goes to 51, that's 101%, which should then give us 3 gold. It does. Okay, so then, on top of that, if we set you to be 100, and then we set you to be 100, that's 200%. So we should still be getting 3 gold total. So we should go to 13. But then if we go to 101, that's now 201%, which would now be 4 gold. I love it when a plan comes together. I love it. Let's see, Quellen over on YouTube says, I think those card sprites should have textures on the colored parts representing the element. They're hard to tell apart if you're colorblind. True. So the cards are actually something that I designed. Oh, I think I added these cards 8, 10, maybe even like almost a year ago. And they are definitely on the list of needing to be upgraded. I mostly, so I went through many designs on the cards. So after a while, I was just like, you know what? I redesigned the cards, and then I was like, I'm not going to go into a whole lot of time doing and like redoing these cards again and again and again. So I just kind of like, I was like, you know what? There you go. That's that, and we'll call it good. But if I come over here to RPG Maker, or is it games, Tomb of Vercilias, images, pictures. And I think we've got old. Oh my gosh, yeah, there's so many we've gone through. Okay. So, oh my gosh, I'm kind of glad that I've held on to all of these assets. I don't remember how old these ones are. Let's see, properties. How old are you? You were created December of 2025. Okay, yeah, so I had these cards here that I had made back in December. Just very basic cards, nothing that crazy. Let's see, what are other ones that I made? So actually, these are some of the old monsters. Here's the floating skull that I had made. Creepy. Get stuff like this this bat. Woo. Good times there. Anyway, and then we had old cards, which I think these were the cards that I made right before the current ones we have. Let's see, created. No, these were created. Oh no, modified in June of 2025. Okay, so yeah, so these ones were, I think, a little bit. These ones, I think, were the ones that I made right before the ones we currently have now. So now these ones I did add custom icons to. So as you can see, it had like little fire icons for the pyro cards. And then for this was supposed to be like the Geo icon back in the day. This was the Hydro icon, and then this was the Necro icon. I have since changed the icons a bit, so you can see those right here. So this is Pyro, Geo, Hydro, and Necro. They're very similar looking, unfortunately. I probably will redo the icons just a little bit as time goes on. Yes, the cards are definitely on the list of things that I do need to upgrade and update just a little bit. There's so many like old assets in here that I'm just like, oh yeah, I remember how that used to be. So I don't have the cards in here. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so good times there. So yeah, definitely on the list of things that I do need to update and replace here eventually. I need to add better icons to them. I don't want to say that I am going to change the design of them, but I might change the design just one more time. Maybe. One last time. We'll see. But I do appreciate that you were looking out for that, though. Tomb of Vercilias is a really cool concept. I can't stop thinking about the stories that will be on the main story. Well, I mean, honestly, like, there's a ton of like extra stories that I want to tell with the other NPCs and stuff like that. So I'm glad you're excited. I'm glad you're excited, Spoiled. Let's see. Chief Multihat says, at some point, the party sees themselves in a mirror. When they leave the dungeon, everyone thinks they are Vercilias and are forced to run back into the dungeon like a curse of sorts. That would be a kind of cool cursed mirror. You get out there and you're just like, I am Vercilias. I like that. Multi-hat. I like that. Okay, so I think then we can just copy this. And we come over here when you defeat the monster. Right. This is luck, skill 2, fortune favor, rifle through the pockets of your dead enemies, for chance to find gold. Yes, that is one we're still working on. That is because I needed to come in here and I needed to do... essentially need to change it to this. So it's just a little bit extra. That way we have the perk to upgrade the money you're finding and then also the skill. Because basically, I don't know if anyone has really noticed, but like the perks are much larger percentages than the skills. That's because the perks are temporary and the skills are, well, they're forever. So it's like things like this where it's like, yo, healing items are 10% less effective. That's working at a 10% thing. But if you come over here and you do the second wind, increases the effectiveness of healing items. I guess that is at 10% increments. Never mind. That was a bad example. Other ones are much smaller. Things like Swift Evasion. That one works in a 5%. This one works in a 2% increment. So they're a bit smaller for the skills versus the perks that will be a much larger percentage because it's like they're a temporary thing. You will lose when you leave the dungeon. So I'm so excited for this game. I'm glad you're excited, Squirrel. I am very glad that you're excited. Honestly, I'd be very sad if the majority of people were like, I'm over this game. Whatever. Who cares anymore? I'd be like, oh. I'd still finish it, but I would be a little bit sad if a lot of people just kind of started being like, I don't care anymore. All right. So that should be good to go. If I come over here, we've got this guy. He should drop... Wait. This is just for the chance. That's right. Yes. So this is just giving you the chance to get gold. So if we up this to 50%, there we go. I now have a 50-50 chance of getting gold when I defeat the monster. So, take a hit. Okay, not a hit on 23. That's all right. All right, let's take a hit. It's a soft 19. Yeah, we'll settle on a 20. That's fine. Yeah, there we go. 17. We'll stand on a 17. All right. Of course, you got a 20. 15. Let's hit on a 15. Right. 16. We'll stand on a 16, I suppose. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. 18. Let's stand on an 18. This is going to be a evens. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Of course, you got a blackjack. And then I got a blackjack. Okay, now, I just want to check really quickly. So my gold, as of right now, is 0. So, if I hit, stand on a 17, kill him, generate property, gold of undefined. Dang it. I guess I should have checked to see when it actually despawns the monster, shouldn't I? That's okay. Essentially, all we need to do is we need to take this, and we need to go find before it despawns the monster. Current room monster equals -1. There we go. Right there, right before it despawns the monster right there is when we need to actually add the gold based on the monster that is in the room. Easy enough. Easy enough. Let's see, my head already writing a fanfic for Tomb of Vercilias. I would love to hear the fanfic. RPG Maker error message. They keep me on my toes, they really do. They really do. Alright, so let's do this again. Let's play through. You know what? Actually, do you know what? We're gonna do this. I'm gonna go until I get the Spiked Pauldron, which will then allow me to damage the monsters even when I'm not actually getting a hit on the card. Stand on a 16. Okay, it's alright, because he'll take a damage anytime he attacks me. Which is nice. I like having spike damage. How freaking dare. Evens? Yeah, there we go. A nat 20. Alright with that. I want it to be lore accurate. I might drop it after I've played the game. That sounds good to me. That sounds good to me. Lore accurate fanfic is very important. Very important indeed. Ooh. All right. 20. Okay. 17. 24. Well, this guy's going down. Unless he draws a 20, this guy's going down. I guess a 20 or a 21. Okay. Here we go. I don't know why he didn't draw again. That's kind of weird. He was at a 12. He should have drawn. I don't know. What's coming here? Oh no, did I not? I didn't do it. Well, this will be a good way for me to check and see. Okay, so I didn't get any gold. Good. Now, if I come in here and I increase this to be 50%. Let's go find a monster. Ooh, blackjack. Soft 14. Solid 12. 22. 13. Soft 13. Soft 16. Ugh. I guess we'll stand on a 16 and see what happens. No! Alright, we're standing on a 20. Evens. I still need to do something with that, Was it because I had a 21? Maybe that's why it did that?
Skoil just know. Summoned Eclipse
What
Chan.
Hello! Hello, I'm Eclipse Chan. Welcome. Glad to see you here on the stream. Okay, so I still have 0 gold. Monster, because again, it makes sense that I'm not going to get it every time. Let's take a hit. I need to do this, though. Where is the damage? That's a lot of damage. Let's just up you guys to be 11 damage each. There we go. Now I'm going to be killing it. All right, stand on the 20. He's going to die in 1 hit. There we go. All right, now let's go check my gold and see what happens. Gold. Hey, I got a gold. I got 1 gold. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Perfect. Perfect. Moon Eclipse Chan. Exactly. Moon Eclipse Chan. It's a fitting name, isn't it? Very fitting. OMG, I gotta go. Good luck on Tomb of Vercilias. I'm super excited for games, and I can't wait to play it. I'm not kidding. I am so excited. Squirrel, I'm very glad that you're excited. And I do appreciate you hanging out, for chatting, for watching. Thank you so much for the freaking dancing Moonchan. She is freaking adorable. Let's just get this full screen one more time. There we go. Yeah. Freaking adorable. I love it. I love it. So thank you so much for dancing Moonchan. And yeah, hopefully you have an absolutely fantastic day for you. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you on the Sunday stream. So, good luck. Good luck with the rest of your day. Let's get her back over there, dancing in the corner, just having a grand old time. I'm so glad you liked Moon. Oh, yeah. Moonchan is freaking adorable. And I do appreciate it, so thank you. Thank you. All right, so we are getting gold. Now, the next thing that I want to test is the Midas Touch. So increase the amount of gold you have found on slain enemies. So if we increase this to 30%, thank you, Moon Man. Good night. I appreciate it, Scoil. Thank you. Now let's go. Oh yeah, I forgot. I show the gold here. That's my bad. Okay, so soft 14, soft 17, hard 14. Of course. 12, 16. We'll stand on a 16. All right, 6, 12. Let me defeat you, good sir. Want to see if I get 2. Hey, look. Oh, excuse me. Look at that. I got 2 gold. Instead of just the 1. Happy days. Okay, cool. So that means that is all working. So we should be able to come in here and we should be able to say, Fortune's favor is done. Happy freaking day. Yeah. Which I guess technically that also means if we come over here to the luck branch, Midas Touch, I believe, is technically done then. Because Midas Touch is when you defeat enemies, increase the amount of gold you found on slain enemies. Yeah, that one's technically done then. All right, yeah, so Midas Touch, we can also check that. Awesome. Moving right along, sleight of hand. Let's see. Oh my gosh, how is it 11:40 already? Time freaking flies. Both punches, swift evasion, serpentine, fortune's favor, and then we've got sleight of hand. So sleight of hand, increase the chances of enemies dropping valuables upon death. Okay. Sleight of hand. Interesting. Okay, so item drop. Here we go. Let's see. As long as the player is not in the exit room. Okay, so this is where we actually are going to want to add. Easy enough. Come up over here. Say so long as the dexterity skill 5, is that what we're on? Sleight of hand. 1, 2, 3, 5. Yeah, sleight of hand. So long as sleight of hand is greater than or equal to 1, then we're going to say dexterity skill 5. Sleight of hand. Increase the chances of enemies dropping valuables on death. I think this is essentially going to be the same as... Go to page 5. This guy right here. That's increasing your health. I think I copied that and didn't get rid of it. Yeah, I need to get rid of that. Okay. Yeah, we don't want to heal the player. Yeah, no, get rid of that. Okay. So let's, I guess, just copy that whole thing. Come over here. Paste that thing. So we just want to essentially, not bad, set a random number between 1 and 100, and then we're going to say 710, so this is going to be 712. 712, and I think it's times 3, doing 3%. Just make sure really quickly. %. Okay. Increasing the chances of enemies dropping valuables upon death goes to a 5%. That's serpentine. Okay, yeah, there we go. 5%. So player already... I want there to be a good chance of monsters dropping items without this, but I don't want it to be that if you increase this to 50%, because I don't want it to be 50-50. So maybe, what if we say... Okay, yeah, so let's do this. Let's say... if... It's picture 26, so let's get rid of this guy. We're going to say it's going to default to 25% chance. There's going to be a 25% chance. If you are greater than 25 plus that variable times 5. Yeah. You'll start at 25%, and every time you go up, it'll be 30%, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, all that fun. So if you are... Oh, wait. Okay, actually, never mind. We do not need to worry about checking to see if that... Okay, yeah. That's all we have to do. Okay, let's actually take all of this out of here. Paste it there. So yeah, so sleight of hand, increase the chance. This is essentially the sleight of hand part, but it's also just the chance of it spawning. It's basically going to be all of this stuff. Throw that into here. Then we just say 1 through 100, one out of 100. So, percentage chance. As long as that is less than 25 plus that skill, then erase the picture. We can get rid of... Cut that. Put that there. Paste you. Turn off that conditional branch. Then this will actually spawn stuff. Yeah. That should be good. Yeah. Okay. Excuse me. See, Technical Mindscapes over on YouTube says, began the syndicate today. Exciting stuff. Very exciting stuff. Also, welcome. Glad to see you here. We have 35,000 subs combined. Oh, geez. That's a lot. That's a lot of subs. That is a lot of combined subs. Very exciting stuff, though. Very exciting. Yeah. That is quite the launch. That is quite the launch. I'm not going to lie. Very impressive. Okay, so if we want to increase this damage. Same thing here. That way just a single hit and the thing's dead. 18, we'll set on an 18. So you should only have a 25% chance to spawn an item. You didn't. Go over here. Let's take a hit. Dang it. Alright. 17. Take a hit on the 17. Or we'll stand on the 17. Okay, still nothing. Let's hit. Stand. Alright. Still, it's only a 25% chance. So as long as it's a super high chance that I'll actually be able to get an item drop. Although I'm trying to decide if we want to increase that or not. Maybe 25% is just a little bit too low. I want you to be able to get a decent amount of items from killing monsters. Not a ton, because obviously I want you to feel like you need to increase that skill. But I feel like 25% is just a little bit too low at this point. And maybe there's just something else that's broken. But, Okay, what if we just come in here and we say, sleight of hand, increase this up to 50%. That's broken. Well, let's set it to 100% chance, shall we? I guess we'll see what happens when it's there. All right, let's take it. Let's stand on a soft 18. Of course. Stand on a 20. There we go. There we go. 100% chance drop. That does seem to be working then. So if I set it to 100% chance, and they're dropping every time now, so that is working then. So I think at that point then it's So the system itself is working. Of course, you got a 20. The system itself is working. So it's just I wasn't being patient enough with the 25%. So, do we... What if we increase it to like 30? Well, first of all, we actually need to go in and fix this. Not luck. Not warding. Sleight of hand. You are 711. You're 712. Wait. How broken are these things? $713. Where's the cap? Did I just get off? I think I must have just gotten off. You're if 708 less than. Increase 708 by 1. You, as long as 709 is less than 10, increase 709. 710 is less than 10, increase 710. 711 is less, and increase 711. And this needs to be 712. And increase 712. 713. Increase 713. 714, increase 714. Okay, all right. That is fixed. That's good to go. Now, it's just over here. Over here. Oh, over here. Defeat the monster. Dropping the items. Yeah, so maybe if you can increase it by 50%, I figured a quarter of the time would be good, but maybe we actually need it more than. And maybe we also wanted to make it so if you fully max out this skill, monsters drop stuff 100% of the time. Yes, maybe we do a 50-50. That feels too high, though. I don't know. Let's see. Imagine 8chans posting a game within 72 hours of each other and creating an algorithmic headwind for any game. I mean, that's smart. Very smart. That's just the starter group. We will all blast this game at once when it's ready. Ooh, nice. Hashtag Rexwork. The goal is for the syndicate to ascend the hot topic signal. That is super cool. That is really cool. I know that you had sent me a message about stuff. I can't remember. Did you send me another message that I haven't responded to? I think I actually have a message that I do need to respond to you, but I cannot remember. I need to catch up on my messages, if I'm being completely honest. This is all okay. All right. Yeah, I definitely have gotten a little bit far behind on messages, so I'm definitely going to be catching up on those messages, responding to, because I think it'd be a lot of fun to be a part of this elite network. I think it'd be an absolute blast. So yeah, so maybe yeah, I'm so torn. So I'm like, I feel like a 50% chance of the monsters dropping an item is already so high that I feel like most people wouldn't care to upgrade a skill that would make it become 60, 70, 80, 90, 100%. But I also don't want it to be so low that in the beginning you just can't find dice. Yeah, I'll stick it back to 25%. I feel like a quarter of the time, on average, defeating a monster, dropping an item, I feel like that feels fine. I feel like that's okay. Not the end of the world. Oh my god. That is the end of the world. I shouldn't have drawn that. I shouldn't have done it. There we go. 2 10s. Yeah. I just want to make sure that I can actually get a drop at the 0.25%. We'll split that one. I'll sound on an 18. Yeah, something is broken with the splits. I don't know what it is. Something is definitely broken with them. I'm like, come on, just if it can just drop one item, just one item, then I'll know we're good and I can move on. But until then, I'm gonna feel like something's broken because it's not doing this. Okay, if this monster doesn't drop something, I'm gonna go back and look at the code. So I feel like maybe there's something that is wrong that I just forgot to check. Oh my gosh, just die. 18? Come on, an 18, there we go. There we go, okay. Yeah, so the 25, it does seem kind of low. But I want to incentivize for people to upgrade, no? Upgrades, people. We need upgrades. I don't want just someone to be like, oh, well, I'm not going to upgrade that skill. I want it to be something to like where someone comes in here and they go, oh, I can increase the chances of enemies dropping valuables upon death? Sign me up. Sign me up. Yeah, this is technically working. We may adjust it a little bit as time goes on to maybe like accommodate more earlier on. But also having this slightly lower number could make it so that we could add like a perk card maybe that's like, hey, it's going to increase it by 25% or something like that to increase or to drop an item. Could do that as well. But it is working technically, so we should be able to come in here and say sleight of hand, check. Check and done. We just have 2 more. We just have 2 more skills on the skill tree that we got to be doing, so we're getting very close. We're getting very close. So if I come over here, we'll go to the skill trees. Yeah, so we have roll with the punches, we've got swift evasion, we've got serpentine, we've got fortune's favor, and we've got sleight of hand all working. So the last 2 that we need to get is Eagle Eye, which reveals the top card of the deck if it's an ace. This one could be either very simple or a little tricky. I'm actually kind of leaning towards it might be a little bit tricky. I'm probably gonna have to redo a little bit for how the card drawing works, because the card drawing doesn't technically happen until you click to draw. Right? It's like if I come over here, it's not like it knows what card is going to be next. It's not until I click hit that it then picks a card and then draws it. So I am gonna have to adjust the card system just a little bit to take that into account, to be like, okay, we were essentially drawing the next card, but then keeping it on top until then. Yeah, so at that point then, essentially what we need to do is I will need to, so once I get that adjusted, yeah, it'll just basically just have to, when it does draw that next card, initially, if it's an ace, it'll flip it over. That's not too bad. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Because then there's also the other one as well, which is this guy, which is the Royal Pact, which reveals the top card of the deck if it's a king, queen, or a jack, which honestly could be like, and again, like it's supposed to be like once you get like these top ones, it's gonna make things so much easier in the game, because it's like if you can know that your next card is going to be an ace, super great. If you can know your next card is going to be a king, queen, or a jack, so nice. So yeah, ugh. We'll figure it out. I'm trying to think if I'm gonna like maybe replace these with something else, but I haven't really thought about what else we could replace them. So I'm kind of like, we'll see. Anyway, I think I'm probably gonna end it there. I don't know if I've got the mental capacity to go in and start redoing the card system as it is, just because it's like, it's the more that I'm thinking about it, it's going to be a bit of work to get all that figured out. So if I have time over the weekend, I will probably spend a little bit of time and maybe redo the card, not redo the card system, but like rework it to the point where I'm going to be able to make this work, where I can reveal the top card if it's X, Y, or Z. So yeah, we'll see. But if not, then we'll just continue where we currently are right now on the Sunday stream. Yeah, should be a good time. Anyway, my voice is definitely going. I have not drank enough water during the stream, which is my bad. That is my bad. But I appreciate everybody for being here, for hanging out. It's been an absolute blast of a time. I hope that everyone has an absolutely fantastic rest of their evenings. Nice seeing you today. It has been nice to see you today as well, Phil. I do appreciate you being here, for hanging out, for chatting. It has been absolute blast. I do appreciate you all being here. It honestly does mean a lot to me to know that people are interested enough to not only watch but also to chat and hang out. So it is a blast. So thank you all for that. I do appreciate it. I will see you all on the Sunday stream. And yeah, hope you all have an absolutely fantastic rest of your weeks. Hope you all have a great weekend, and I will see you all then. So good luck, take care, and I will, see you then. Goodbye.